She only has two desires, and one of them is podcast.
And what's the actual answer?
Justice. And her
and
first
so the
desire,
idea is that the other desire is sex with women?
I would say the human vagina.
Episode's over. We're done.
That's what this movie's
great
about.
Great to be on, guys.
That's what
Thanks
this
so
movie's
much.
about.
I'll see you next
I
time.
guess so.
Your letterbox log.
You know what? I'm already pumping the brakes at any statement that's like, that's what this movie
Your
is
letterbox
about.
log for this movie was
What was
just the
it?
word boobies. And I would push back on that and say this movie is more about vaginas than it is about boobies.
I think it has some naked breasts, right? You know,
But I
there's
think
a few
David,
of
that's a
those in
very
there.
surface reading.
Including Chris Evans.
That's a surface reading. I'm not denying it has naked breasts, but I think it's about vaginas.
Wow, this is the most our listeners ship will like crash in the
I'm
first 5
pointing at
minutes.
the stands. I'm hitting a home run. This is our best episode ever.
It's like pointing at the stands. You don't even hit a foul ball. You like hit the bat into your face somehow.
Honey don't, but blank check do.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. This is our
Okay.
best episode ever.
This is our last
Episode ever.
episode ever. I
It
think
is
this
our last episode ever.
It's our last episode in the Coens series. It's sort of like an epilogue.
We're basically treating the solo films as bonus episodes on main
Right,
feed.
because they're sort of a half step in, half step out situation.
We felt like we had to cover them. We felt
Right.
like covering them on Patreon kind of wasn't
it was
quite
going to be
fair.
weird because we would have to like space them out like in a way that was going to be odd or
The other
back
part of
end
it was
I don't know.
when they win March Madness and we commit to covering them. Honey
Yeah.
Don't has not come out. You have not even seen it yet.
No, but it was one of those things where like if we had thought about it for 5 seconds, we would have been like, oh right, it is coming out. It just no one was
but
like
that's what it
yelling
was.
it from the rooftops like,
Right.
by the way, Honey Don't.
But we were like, there's a new release movie that will come out between when we start doing these episodes and when the series ends.
Do you know this was a
We'll have to
midnight
cover
movie
that.
at Cannes?
I do, and it got a standing ovation, they claim.
Look, everything gets a standing ovation, and you know, it's.
Do they count people standing up to
I was
leave
about
the
to say-
theater?
Do they have seats in the theater?
They that's a standing ovation. Everyone's standing and holding a bar or whatever. Like, no, I mean it's like when someone says in these ridiculous
It's like first ever Cannes general audience screening.
Cannes just standing room only screening. I like when they're like, oh, I got a 5 minute variety
Yeah.
tweets at 1 a.m. like, oh, Honey Don't got 5. I'm like, well, it takes 5 minutes for everyone to stand up and walk out of. Are we counting this as standing ovation that people must stand to exit?
Also, the standing ovation bullshit used to mean something when it would happen rarely. And now, basically, if a movie gets a 3-minute standing ovation, you're like, oh, shit.
It's like a D cinema
hated
score.
that.
Right, exactly.
Episode already out of juice? Listen, this is Blank Check with Griffin and David.
There
I'm
we
Griffin.
go. I'm David.
It's a podcast about filmographies, directors who have massive success early on in their careers, such as a run of movies from Blood Simple to The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, and are given a series of blank checks separately and with their wives to make whatever crazy passion projects they want. And sometimes those checks clear and sometimes they bounce. Baby, this has been a mini series on the films of Joel and Ethan Coen together and separately with the aforementioned wives. Today we were talking Honey Don't, which, yes, is the last in this larger 6-month discussion.
I guess we'll be discussing what's it called, Jack of Hearts or whatever the next
Jack of
Joel.
Spades, I believe.
Yeah, I mean
Next year, in theory.
Yeah, Jack of Spades.
But also, Joel takes his time with post-production. That might not. It might be a 27 release.
I got no fucking.
Who knows? We will have a new release of a solo Coens movie next year, and of course, Ethan and Tricia continue to threaten to make Go Beavers.
So
their riff on a college slasher film.
So when I saw this movie,
you'll never get what the title is implying.
I don't understand.
Is alluding to. You'll never guess it.
When I saw Honey Don't, the film,
yeah,
it was at the Museum of the Moving Image in beautiful Astoria, Queens, New York.
Congratulations.
And the images do move.
The images do move.
This film's got that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know this, but actually, movies. It's not actually moving. It's a series of images very close together, and
Moving
your brain
images.
interpolates the motion.
Right, persistence of vision.
Right, and then if people are talking, you call that a talkie.
That's right.
Yeah.
But I saw it there with a talk back with Ethan and Tricia. And in it, they had said they had not even started writing it yet. And I feel like I almost stood up and started clapping. Like,
never do that.
And he mentioned like a little bit like, oh, me and Joel have been talking a little more. And we're like, everyone in the theater was like, all right.
Please keep talking.
Yeah,
we
please.
definitely have a title, though. And the title is subtle.
I'm asking Joel for notes on Beaver Squad or whatever. What's it called?
Go Beavers!
Go
Exclamation point.
And Joel's weirdly not returning my emails. I don't know what's going on.
Joel's on stage.
Joel replied, "I'm going through a tunnel," but like in an email.
Fran keeps picking up the phone when I call. Hanging up.
I was on the phone with my brother Jamesy, and he was asking me if I had seen this, and I said yeah, and I was like telling him my problems with it and my frustrations with it. And he was just like, it's just like so crazy. And these like don't make money, right? Like this and the last one. And I was like, the last one did poorly and this one did significantly worse. And he just went, how funny would it be if they made a third one? And he thought he was suggesting the most ludicrous comedic premise imaginable.
Right. And get this. Here's my crazy idea. Yeah. They keep going.
And I was like, James, they are actively threatening. And I believe he laughed for 45 seconds straight. Like an out of
James
breath.
Isn't like a belly laugher.
He was like, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard. They're actually going to keep doing this.
That's like a 10-minute standing ovation at Cannes to get him to laugh that long.
Now, but is it going to end up what was the final Divergent movie supposed to be called?
Divergent Allegiant Part 2 or Divergent?
Like where it's kind of like, we're going to make it. And then they're like, it might be straight to TV. And then they're like, yeah, it's not happening. You can read the script if you want. Here it is. Like, have fun.
Especially not having a script yet. And we should say,
I mean, these scripts don't take long to write.
I was gonna actually ask you guys
it's a
before
weekend.
Because I was gonna say I am a writer of fiction, but I don't write screenplays.
What I was gonna ask, the transition.
What I was gonna ask both of you is, should it take longer than the runtime of a movie to write it? Because I actually not in the industry or the biz, like the two of you are.
The challenge. This is like a sort of whatever, like a make a movie in a day challenge.
It's a 24-hour film festival. Yeah. Would it take ChatGPT longer to come up with a Go Beavers script? Would it be like, I actually need a week to really kind of work out some of the...
I've actually got Act 1 problems. I got to start over.
Just to give you, it was going to be called Divergent Ascendant.
Okay.
Based on the latter half, of course, the book Allegiant.
Okay, so they were making up a new subtitle, not doing a part 2.
Yeah, and then it didn't happen. It was going to be from the director of The Age of Adeline.
Yeah, Lee Tolan Krieger, who has basically spent 10 years stuck in a gilded cage of Berlanti and Netflix TV show pilots.
I have a very, very quick Age of Adeline anecdote.
Please give us that anecdote, and then we're going to introduce
it. Okay, we have so much to say. I got to do 10 minutes on Lee Tolan Krieger.
Fine. Just very quickly, 10 years ago, me and my beautiful wife, Jaya, were in Italy.
Humble brag.
That's right. And we were getting dinner at this beautiful place, and we started getting chatty with this couple that was next to us, and it was this older Dutch couple, and the it was husband and wife, because that's how a couple can work sometimes.
Sometimes.
I mean, not if Honey has her way, but
Honey O'Donoghue.
Honey O'Donoghue.
That was a good Charlie Day. I don't know if that was intentional.
It was getting there. But the husband was a KLM pilot. And he was like, I just like to stop at this restaurant, whatever. We start talking to him, and they go, oh, our son is an actor. He lives in New York, too. And we're like, sure. Like, where does he live in the city? And they're like, in Union Square. And we're like, what's your son?
Wait a second.
And they're like, his name is Michael Huisman.
Oh, I love Michael Huisman.
And we're like, who is that? And they're like, he was on Game of Thrones. I was like, oh, right. He's the hot Dario Naharis.
He's the second Dario. That's right. After Ed Skrein got kicked off.
And he's in Age of Adeline.
And then the wife looks at us because it just come out, I think. And she goes, and he's in Age of Adeline. Like, expecting us to be like, wow.
Holy shit.
And we're just like, oh, yeah. And she's like, with Blake Lively? And we're like,
David is miming someone freaking out. Yeah.
I've never seen The Age of Adeline, a film that our friend Richard Lawson has always mildly defended. Some people are always kind of like,
pretty good.
Right. Like Harrison Ford actually giving like a committed emotional performance is like probably Michael Huisman grown up or something.
Ellen Burstyn? No, it's Harrison. I think.
I will not accept any kind of no, David.
I think Michael Huisman is maybe Harrison Ford's son, and the whole bit is that she falls in love with him, and she previously had fallen in love with Harrison Ford, and he brings her home, and Harrison Ford's like, "You're the same woman.
What's going on here?
Why didn't you age?
I haven't been this freaked out since David Blaine was in my kitchen.
Get off my son." For those at home,
those
I'm pointing.
were both good jokes.
They were
I
great
think we
jokes.
both it's like we hit opposite field doubles in either direction.
We're in sync today. This is what I'm saying. Best episode
beautiful.
ever. Like David and I are just fucking like, we're in the flow.
Well, it's been a minute since we
been a
recorded.
minute.
We-
Speaking
we're-
of-
although we recorded without you, Ben.
Yes.
One time.
We went to the zoo.
But speaking of going to Italy with your lovely wife,
Uh-huh.
our producer, Ben Hosley, just got back from a honeymoon with his beautiful wife in Italy.
Yep.
And he was telling us how surprised he was by how much he enjoyed the experience of driving down the roads in Italy.
Vroom, vroom.
Oh, yeah.
I had fun with it.
Yeah,
I was taking those curves, taking
Avanti,
it fast,
he was
And I
saying.
said,
but feeling
You were saying
secure.
you were saying ciao bella and putting your
Yeah.
hand out the window, doing
Oh,
the little
God.
fisting motion.
and then I said it
Yeah.
shouldn't have come as such a surprise to him with all the hours he's logged playing Mario Kart. He knew what a great experience it was going to be to be a real Italian driving down roads.
And of course, I had a shell with me.
He had a
Yeah,
show.
I will say when we the same trip that we were in Milan,
Mhm.
we got off the plane, we went to where we were staying, and it was above a mechanic's garage.
Oh.
And the literal first thing I saw was an Italian guy in red overalls
Oh.
with a mustache.
Wow.
Well.
And me and Jai just looked at each other like, we're really in Italy, baby.
And he
Hell
was
yeah.
like loading banana peels into the front of his
Trunk of
car.
a car.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to spend too much time, but I will share that I did plan on bearing jeans. It didn't work out.
Oh,
Okay.
you did text about this.
Yeah. There was a delivery issue with the ceramic vessel.
Like an urn?
Yes.
Like
in a
you're
way.
doing grave goods in ancient Sumer?
Well, what I use is Korean fermenting vessels.
Uh-huh.
Best episode
Um,
ever.
And so it didn't end up arriving at my hotel. I wasn't able to do it. I also, though, had separately delivered a collapsible shovel.
Mhm.
I didn't take it out of the packaging. I brought it to the airport. Apparently, you're not supposed to travel with a collapsible shovel.
That doesn't shock me.
So how are you supposed to bury jeans in other countries?
That's why the shoveler has to stay within the lower 48.
Well, also, he respects the rules.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
He
I
loves
tried
rules.
to explain at the Rome airport why I had the shovel. They didn't really get it.
Ben's lovely wife, Nellie, sends us a text at 4:06 a.m. And it is a video taken from quite far away. You can't hear anything of Ben gesticulating with whatever the equivalent of a TSA agent is, right, at the airport. And,
Carabinieri?
and the
perhaps?
text is POV, my husband's collapsible travel shovel gets
Wait, I didn't
flagged
get this text.
going
Come on,
through
Nelly.
at the airport in Rome.
That's beautiful.
They didn't
And
let me
Ben's-
keep it, man.
Ben's response was they threw it out, said I shouldn't have it. I guess this was sent to Marie and I.
Rude.
Rude.
Ho
Listen,
bisogna di separare dei jeans. Apparently, that's I need to bury some jeans.
our guest today is a writer who doesn't just have titles. She finishes books. She doesn't just say we have an idea.
Mm.
I'm holding a finish. You hear this?
Ooh.
That's a hardcover.
And that ain't her first book.
In the Land of Simplicity, a novel.
No, it's called Simplicity, right?
This
It
in
is.
The land of
Well,
right here.
that is
It's called Simplicity.
that's a dumb affectation of mine that I insisted doing to make it
Okay.
look more like a book from the 19th century.
I like
because I'm
that, though.
insane.
We love that.
Mm-hmm. If you
But-
look, the subtitle is like a paragraph long.
So I should have listened to the meaning of the title and given into the
A little.
simplicity of just the one-word title.
It is a gift to be simple.
From
my
the
friend.
author of Boys Weekend, another book that you finished,
Great book.
Mattie Lubchansky.
The books are also good.
Friend of the podcast, first-time guest, but friend of the podcast, someone we've both known separately for a very long time.
I suppose that's true.
I'm so glad to finally be here on Talk Tua, I believe is the name.
Hell yeah. Is she back? I saw she was like streaming Fortnite.
She should be back.
I saw she was back the other
Let's
day, and I was
bring
like, well,
her back.
Did she endorse Soren? Is she going to have Soren?
Let's get Sally Hawkins in to bring her back.
Okay. So I
Okay.
see the joke there.
I see.
So I remember. I know that she was in the Hulu show Chad Powers, starring Glenn Powell.
Oh,
Yes.
was she?
She's in an episode of that.
Right.
Okay.
Where they're comparing
Possi-
notes on being washed up celebrities or
Right,
some shit.
possibly
It's like a
playing
meta
herself.
casting
Right.
gag.
So maybe she
She is
had
playing
to
herself, yes.
to come back after her meme coin
There was
scandal.
there was a thing where she appeared at VidCon
Mm.
and like 60% of the audience walked out in protest and complained to the organizers because they were offended by how lewd her material was.
Oh damn!
And I was
Lewd?
like,
she was going blue.
you
Not
were
the part where she scammed everybody.
you were not led into this fucking like convention hall at gunpoint. You said, I'm going to sit down and listen to the talk to a girl in conversation.
It's a fair point. It's kind of a dead dove do not eat. I don't know what you were expecting. Like, she is famous for an extremely illustrative and colorful, humorous explanation of blowjob giving.
I want to ask each of those people, what is she famous for?
It's true.
And why are you upset right now?
She's famous for being America's sweetheart. What are you talking about?
Yes.
Why isn't she in Honey Don't?
Why isn't she in Honey?
5 minutes of pep.
If she's
Talk to her.
If she's in Go Beavers, are we excited?
Sure.
If they announce,
I'm there.
Yeah,
I'll buy a Beaver coin.
You'll buy a Beaver
I'm
coin.
seated day one for Go Beavers.
I'm simply so seated.
Couldn't be more seated.
It is nothing like Ken. I'm in a chair.
Exactly. I won't be giving an ovation because I'm seated.
This movie comes out first week of September.
This
in the
film
United
came
States of
out in
America.
the very hot late August corridor.
Last weekend of August?
Yeah, August 22nd.
It screens at Cannes
It was at
in
the
May.
Cannes Film Festival.
You see it around then?
I was shown it right then by the good people at Focus Features.
Right then.
Who were like, are you going to do like a simultaneous review? Or are you going to? And I was like, maybe. I guess we'll see what I think of it. And then I saw it and I gave a polite boobs review on Letterboxd.
We'll
with
talk
like a
about it on my podcast in 6 months, glowingly.
I mean, it was very much a sort of like, hey, I kind of like Drive Away Dolls, so fuck yeah, I'll give it a whirl.
I like Drive Away Dolls. That episode was recorded before I'd seen Honey Don't. I feel like I had a very genuine defense of that movie on that episode.
Sure.
After now seeing Honey Don't twice, I would even defend Drive Away Dolls more.
Yeah,
sure. I would agree.
I didn't like Drive Away Dolls at all when I saw it, but I was like, I'll keep. I think Mr. Coen is had enough. He deserves a second chance from old Mattie. Like, what do I know better than him?
Right,
so I'll go see the new one.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, was Drive Away Dolls good?
I like Drive Away Dolls.
Drive Away Dolls is a movie.
It's
more than
very
anything
functions
else.
as a film.
Exactly. It's a film where like I really like the beats basically make sense to me. I'm basically with it the whole time.
Yeah.
I think there's, there's something to the main couple, like, where there's like a connection
some real
there
emotion
that's interesting
in it that I find affecting.
Honey Don't is basically a movie that I was kind of out on from the start, and then the ending was so bad, like that it really sort of hurt the rest.
I'm kind of with it until the last 20 minutes.
I think that's
and it's such a disastrous ending that it basically undoes everything I liked about the movie up until that point.
Yeah.
We'll get into all of this.
Sure.
Here's the timeline I want to spell out. You see it, right?
Yeah.
When I saw the trailer, I was kind of encouraged because I was like, okay, it looks a little formally tighter. There's kind of a genre riff happening here. There's seemingly a central plot thread of a mystery. This maybe looks like slightly more of a movie than Drive Away Dolls. A fun lark that I enjoy.
Sure.
Then David sees it. And he's like, it is less of a movie than Drive Away Dolls.
I did.
I'm like,
I did warn you.
Oof, okay,
this,
so we now have this on the schedule coming up 6 months from now.
Right.
And he's like, kind of not an exciting way to end a 6-month series.
No. But we've had
the
some
greatest
good
living filmmakers.
And this is a great app, but we've had we've discussed some masterpieces.
Yes.
We've had good times digging through big movies.
So I'm just glad after a run of giving a lot of smaller artists and people a chance, getting someone really big on like me to talk about this.
Well, here's Mattie, this is the road I'm paving, okay? Mattie! David's like, who should we have on as a guest? And I'm like, here's what I think we should do. Let's wait until the movie comes out and see if anyone defends it.
Or even just has a reaction, honestly, because it kind of felt like a movie that was gonna go nowhere, and it kind of was. Like, it just came out to shrugs and negativity and was mostly ignored.
And we don't need to like this movie.
No.
Despite what some people accuse us of, we never pretend to like movies for the narrative of a miniseries.
I only do that for money.
When the money clears.
Right, exactly.
That's what the money's for.
Right, that's a briefcase.
Right.
Dollar bills.
Yes.
That's what I'm looking for.
Right. We don't do it to make the episodes better.
Right.
But the movie comes out. There are not really vocal defenders that rise. But I see you posting takes that are at least like considerate of like, I struggled with this.
Yeah.
I tried to like it. And right before we started recording, you were like, we all dislike this, right? I'm not going to be the one who like yucks everyone's yum.
Yeah.
And we're like, no, I just think you seemed very quickly like someone who would at least be interesting to have a conversation about this movie with, rather than just three people being like, whatever, you know? Because I do think there is stuff to wrestle with in this. I found this movie so deeply frustrating.
Immensely.
And I find it frustrating in a way that is very different from Drive Away Dolls, which I accept being its own thing, even if it is kind of a silly trifle of a thing. I think that is what it's intending to do. And I find that movie charming and entertaining to watch and funny.
Yes.
It does not like go off the charts in any of those areas, but I think it succeeds at its very modest intent. This is a movie that feels like a bad Coen Brothers movie. It is so much closer to what they do together in a way that is just lacking juice. And for the first like 75% of it, I'm watching it and going like, okay, this is an all right approximation of a Coen Brothers movie. It's frustrating because I know they can do this better together, but whatever. And then the last 20 minutes are just like, they feel like a shrug and a panic. Yeah. And it kind of reveals that the movie had no idea what it was actually doing up until that point.
Yeah, and for me, I think it's so illuminating that like they really just think they're making The Long Goodbye a lot. To the point where there's like lots and lots and lots of things pointing directly to it. There's like a cat on an orange counter and there's like a lady playing a piano in a bar, whatever. To the point where I went and watched The Long Goodbye again because I'm like, oh, I have to...
I mean, that sounds like a good time.
And now I feel even worse about the movie because I watched The Long Goodbye recently. But like that movie also similarly has a kind of ending that's like, the first time you watch it, you're like, oh, it's a little bit out of nowhere. And then you think about it, you're like, no, this is actually really...
That was layered in.
It was layered in and interesting. And like, and it means something for this character that this happened this way. Like he's sick of getting dumped on or whatever. Yeah. Whereas like, this movie is just sort of like, and now it's over.
Here is what is most frustrating about it to me, is that I think Joel and Ethan together are the kings of an ending that should be unsatisfying.
Yes.
Right? Of like constructing a story that feels like it's leading into one direction and then ending on a very messy, ambiguous note, letting plot threads completely dissolve, you know, or just like wander off screen, taking these hard left turns, these things that could be seen as frustrating and sort of flippant towards the audience, but I think are actually kind of like that feel almost intellectually profound to me.
Yeah.
And this movie, my first time watching it, I'm like, why is this doing the same moves except it's just making me mad? And I cannot find any rhyme or reason or meaning in what they're subverting.
Yeah, like I've been listening to the series as you guys have been doing it, and you kept talking about like earlier in their career, the way some critics would talk about their work where it's like just cruel or whatever. This movie feels like the movie those people think they're watching.
Yeah.
Where it's just kind of like tonally mean in a way that I don't quite understand. Yes. It left kind of a bad taste in my mouth.
It is a surprisingly mean-spirited movie, given that it is initially kind of not. Like, initially you're like, yeah, this is a romp. I get it. It's like a very broad satire. And then at the end you're like, huh.
There's like two pieces in it.
Weird edge to it.
Yeah, like there's the scene where, was it Chris Evans, like,
he's there.
He finds out that one guy died and they go out and the guy's like dead on the ground. And like, and they do, again, like a horrible mutated version of my favorite Coens thing, which is two people having a regular conversation while something insane is happening behind them or near them.
Yes.
And they're doing that, but it's not funny. It is like legitimately sad watching this guy weep over his dead son.
Yeah.
And then there's the bit where the guy's like, oh, like, let me suck your dick. And he gets run over by the car. And I'm just like, okay, so you're just like showing a gay guy get murdered by a car? Like, I don't.
You're right that there's.
It's totally strange.
That when they work together, that in many Coen movies, that sort of these horrifying or shocking things happen, and you're like very in it. It's very in the flow of the story. They manage the tone right, and that stuff does kind of feel like, you know, some guy who's not a Coen brother being like, I know what Coen brother movies are like, and yet he is a Coen brother. He's one of the two.
This whole time, he's been one of the two Coens.
I said to you recently, David, that this movie kind of broke me.
Yeah, you said that and I was like, this one?
Right, and you were like, it can just be bad. You don't need to be fighting over this.
Right,
and I
was like, You don't need to be in turmoil.
I'm not at war with whether or not I like this movie.
Right.
I'm at war with like, why doesn't this work? Mm-hmm. And it's easy to just say it doesn't, but it is bizarre because it's doing things that are so similar to the things I value in Coen's films with, as we said, someone who is a Coen brother.
Yes.
One of the two.
On second viewing, I have some thoughts.
Fact checked true.
It's hard to make the two.
But I think
Coen brothers.
I think Coen movies are filled with these kinds of moments where you're just like, that's a story decision no other filmmaker would make, right? Or that's, and on top of that, tonally, that scene is played in the opposite way of how I would imagine anyone else would approach it. In a comedy, this scene is suddenly very violent and dark. In a drama, this scene is suddenly very funny and over the top, right?
Mm-hmm.
These things that feel like they should bump on you. And with the Coens, I don't know what degree of it is just the trust they have like earned from us at this point. When a moment like that happens in one of their movies, I lean in and I go, huh, why are they doing this?
Yeah.
I like give them the benefit of the doubt. And I feel like every other time it has paid off for me, whether at the conclusion of the movie where I suddenly go, I get it. This is what it was all about. And this was the larger point they were making. This is why they were playing with narrative expectations and uncomfortable feelings. Or if it doesn't work for me the first time, I go back and watching a second time and I go, now I get it. And like, this is one of the only ones, if not the only one, where I'm like, I truly kind of don't get what's going on here. I think this movie has ideas in it. There are things it is contending with that I find kind of interesting and sticky, and certainly on the first viewing, and even giving it a second watch this morning and being like, I'm really trying to meet it on its terms. I was getting re-engaged in some of the things in the first half and then just like completely pushed off the bike again the second half. Mattie, what is your history with the Coens?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think in college, in the early 2000s, the movie theater near my college was playing The Big Lebowski on a big screen.
Another film.
That this film is maybe trying to be a little bit.
And very indebted to The Long Goodbye as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is like, that movie is like, what if Philip Marlowe is like a even stupider?
Yeah.
And this movie is like, what if, I mean, this one, it was just like, what if Philip Marlowe was like a young lesbian? And then they stopped and they kind of walked away and hoped that they came back in the room later and the script would be done. And then I just fell in love with it. And I had that stupid DVD that's like the bowling ball that untwists.
Big time.
And then I just got really into their movies from that point. I went back and I just filled in all my gaps. And I've seen everything, I think, first run since then. But I will say, like, especially, I want to say Inside Llewyn Davis and Hail Caesar and what was the one just before Llewyn Davis?
True Grit.
Less True Grit, but more
Burn After Reading.
No,
Serious Man.
Serious Man.
There we go.
Those three. Burn After Reading, I was the only person I knew that liked it when I saw it in the theaters.
Fucking rules.
It was
Smart.
very gratifying to listen to the episode and hear that
Smart
I am
lady.
correct.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
But those three in particular, I watched them and I was kind of like, I don't get it. But like, and then I would just be thinking about them for months and I was like, I got to watch them again. And now those three are like my favorite three, I think.
I mean, this is what I'm saying. Like, that was my experience with Hail Caesar the first time.
I have seen that movie now, I think 10 times. Like, I love it so much.
Like, same. And it completely makes sense to me now. Sure. And that was a movie where the first time Son of the Wrong Footing, I was like, I don't get what they're doing here. But when you go back to it, it rewards you.
Yeah.
It starts to make sense when you understand what the movie isn't doing and you stop holding those expectations against it that were sort of are drilled into us by more conventional movies.
Yeah. And, and like for me, it's sort of like they are, they're like, it's not to sound so fucking basic, but like, they're like the first like directors that weren't Tim Burton or Steven Spielberg that I was like, these are directors that I've heard of. When I was younger.
Yeah, they're one of the first directors that you have heard of if you're our age.
Yeah, it was like them and like PTA were like, okay, here's directors that now when they have new movies, I will go see their movie.
I mean, I talk about it a lot, but like Tim Burton does sort of make sense as the ultimate starter kit auteur for people of our generation. Yeah. Because it's so easy to understand what his hallmarks are, right?
Yeah.
And then Spielberg is the guy you hear everyone in culture cite as shorthand.
Yes.
For successful.
He's on the Animaniacs.
Right.
And he's the only director on the Animaniacs.
Right. You know the name, you know the visual,
sure.
You know the hits and whatever. And there's like Spielberg magic, but also as we've grown up, the definition of a Spielberg movie has changed a bunch.
Sure.
But the Coens are like those directors that you can sort of feel like you're doing the work yourself to understand what their thing is.
Yes.
Rather than it being like served up to you completely already by pop culture.
Right. And their movies are just so, to me, like just so magical, the way that they have so many moving parts that are like unlike anybody else.
Yeah.
And I will say the thing about maybe like I was trying to get to the bottom of like, why did this movie leave such a weird taste in my mouth tonally?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because the other of their movies, it's two things. I think it's the attention to detail is missing.
Yeah.
And the dialogue isn't there. Whereas like other Coen movies, the dialogue is so special and sticky and compelling.
Yes.
That when it's not there, when Chris Evans is saying best sex ever or whatever, it's like the dialogue wasn't there, the jokes weren't there. I wrote down one of the jokes, it was like driving me crazy. It's like when in that scene where the kid dies.
Yeah.
The Australian guy says, "My body's a temple. You should see it with a shake weight." And I was like, that's a joke in a Coen Brothers movie?
Yeah.
Like,
well,
are you, oh, not Coen, sorry, a Coen Brother movie.
A Coen Cook movie.
But it is,
you know what I mean?
I know
Yes,
what you
yes,
mean, that
yes.
it is, it's somewhat disturbing to consider like them knowing about shake weights. I don't want them to know about that.
It just feels like it's a lazier joke and it's way out of time.
It is.
But once again, like Drive Away
Maybe a
Dolls
Slinket joke.
feels like it's playing
Slinket joke.
is a sillier movie that feels like it's playing an entirely different game, and I'm not pinging it for not nailing like Raising Arizona-esque rat-a-tat dialogue. Whereas this is getting so close that you become more aware of the gap between what it's trying to do and the literally 20 perfect versions of it you've seen one of these people do before.
Yeah. The other thing they also do in a lot of their other movies is like paying homage to stuff in a way that is not tired, that is interesting, that is something to say. And this one is just doing big time, remember that stuff.
Well, even like the home invasion scene of the young boy and his mother being attacked, right?
Yeah.
I think is pretty well directed. And I'm sitting there.
You're right.
Yeah.
And
like,
watching it.
visually, it's good.
Right. And I was just like, okay, this actually like builds tension. It's using like negative space and silence in this very like classically Coen's-y way. It remains specific to its character. It has like shocking moments of humor and of violence. And I felt a little electrified being like, okay, so like Ethan's like showing up as a director, right? Like he's like doing something here cinematically. And the scene ends and I'm like, I have seen 15 better versions of this scene done by that same guy. You know?
And also like the way that the grandma gets killed is like another sort of like, to me, a taste level thing. It just feels sort of like unnecessarily mean. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
There was this quote I brought up a lot throughout this series where Ethan has said, you know, when people ask me what a director does, I don't have an answer. And over the years, I finally settled on one, which is tone management. And you do look at most of their films and you're like, that is kind of their ultimate magic, is the tone management of how can they hold these two things at the same time? And how can they put these scenes next to each other with such a wide kind of variance of human emotion and tone, right?
Yeah.
And this is a movie where it just does not coalesce, and there are things in it, if I'm like just watching it on a scene by scene basis, where I'm like, I'm kind of into this scene on its relative terms.
Yeah.
And then I get to the next scene and I'm like, I'm feeling whiplash, but I'm going to trust them that this is all going to come together. And then it has what our friend Sean Fantasy on their recent House of Dynamite episode referred to as a kicking the full paint can into the open street ending.
Like the person wanted to do that out of anger, is what you're saying.
That it just feels like, I don't know, fuck you, whatever. You know, like and House of Dynamite has that too. This ending where like the movie isn't totally working, but I'm like following, and some of the scenes are working. And then you're like, let's see if you can pull it together. And then the ending is like, I don't know, fuck off.
The ending's like, okay, we're done. And you're like, oh no, but what about the ending? And they're like, oh no, these are the credits.
I said we're done.
These people made the movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, did they know?
Like
That's the twist.
The tone is basically just like,
Almost like a bomb falling.
kind of just like
I
it
don't know, House of
just
Dynamite?
fades.
I heard on a podcast that we built House of Dynamite.
I heard that too.
Honey Don't, what does everybody think of Margaret Qualley? Because I do think outside of the stuff we're discussing, tone management, Ethan, like Coen's facsimile feeling or whatever.
And we should acknowledge that much like Drive Away Dolls, this is a movie that by all accounts was completely
Co-directed by Tricia Cook.
in addition to being written and produced, but because of DGA guidelines, much like
Okay.
the early part of their career.
Tricia Cook is
only
very
Ethan is
much the
credited.
co-author of these two films.
Yes, in every
They are
sense.
very clear about that in the interviews, etc. Margaret Qualley, who plays the character of Honey O'Donoghue in this film.
Honey O'Donoghue.
A private
Really
dick in Bakersfield, California.
Mm-hmm.
Great Bakersfield accent, by the way.
She's the queen of accents. What do we think of Margaret Qualley, who is having, I would say, a fairly sustained run at this point of being in movies?
Yeah.
So that, I think, that noise that Mattie just made is right where I am with Margaret Qualley.
I feel like sometimes
I
I liked her in The Substance.
Sure.
Otherwise, I didn't like her in Drive Away Dolls.
A very strong performance. A real,
That's a Marmite performance that I defend, but I cannot argue with anyone who's like, that drove me crazy.
And I think the other thing is like, okay, so like the noir thing. Right? I've been watching a lot of noirs lately in preparation for this because I was like, I got to get back in the zone.
Right.
And I was like, okay, so because like a thing that happens all the time in noirs is shit just starts happening and then it stops happening and the movie's over. And maybe sometimes you're Philip Marlowe or whoever, you're Eddie Valiant, you're fucking
Eddie Valiant,
the dude, whatever. Like, just sort of like, it's just like, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go home now and the movie's over. But like,
and they're kind of like, oh, another day in this crazy town.
Exactly. But those movies work because the people at the center you care about, or at least they're compelling or whatever.
Sure.
And in this movie, for one reason or another, I feel like Qualley is sort of like a charisma void.
Well,
character feels a little cosplay to me. Like not Margaret doing cosplay, like Honey doing cosplay. Like where I'm like, this girl's kind of putting on like a show.
She's a Rolodex? Yeah.
Yeah, like where I'm like, what is this?
I want to circle back to her in a second because I think you're raising an interesting point here.
Now, and then not Arizona, not raising that.
No, you have not to date raised one of Nathan Arizona's children.
Well,
correct?
Those aren't mine.
Good.
I've given them back.
That was a test, and you just passed. You should not be raising Nathan Arizona's children. They are not
unless
yours.
he asks.
If he asks you to, then you can say yes, but you shouldn't take the initiative.
Yeah.
The Coens are obviously very indebted to that kind of noir filmmaking, and also obviously like the history of American noir in novels.
Hard-boiled crime novels.
Right.
Yeah.
And even in their non-noir films, I do think that is a thing they've really adopted across almost all of their work, which is very often the lack of resolution. A conventional resolution is the point for them, right?
Yeah.
Things like Burn After Reading or No Country or even Serious Man that feel like they're building and building and building and then completely veer off from the obvious blow up, the confrontation, the moment of closure, work for me because they're not just misdirects. It's like that is the thematic point to them. Much in the way that noirs are about these people who are broken down and cynical, realizing how powerless they are to actually change anything, right?
Yeah. The universe is cruel and more importantly, confusing.
Exactly.
And you can never really get your arms around it.
Which is really, I think, like the core issue of the Coen brothers' work. That is the thing that all of their movies are really contending with, of like, is this meaningless or not? And if it's meaningless, then what's the point? What do we owe each other? What do we owe ourselves? How do you find some sort of peace within that chaos and the lack of meaning? And so I think all their other endings work because the lack of resolution is the statement they are making. That life doesn't give you that kind of resolution.
Right.
And this movie, in being a hard-boiled detective noir riff, should be even more well set up to get away with that kind of ending. Yeah. And yet it doesn't. And I don't think it's her performance that's the problem as much. I like her in this. I was pretty resistant to her when she started out.
Interesting, sure.
I just felt like, I don't get what all the buzz is about her without having like a major issue. I wouldn't say I was allergic, but I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And it was, look, she's an incredibly attractive daughter of a movie star who is one of those people who was kind of like in magazines before she had credits, where it felt like there was a slight degree of she's being shoved down our throats as the next big thing.
Yeah.
And I always think I get a little defensive about like, well, let me decide with these people.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. With the hot young things.
And over time, I'm like, I like the choices she makes. I like the people she works with. I think she has a lot of like, I admire her bravery in terms of not feeling the need to define a thing she does and stick to it. Even if you look at these two Coens movies and The Substance and all the other stuff she does, there's like a tremendous range of what she does. She doesn't feel protective of any kind of like brand as an actress, which I
Yeah.
always admire.
Yeah. You know what I liked her in was Kinds of Kindness.
I like Kinds of Kindness.
Never saw Kinds of Kindness.
She's in it very briefly, and I like her in it.
She has a quadruple role in that. I
She
don't know if you
did.
know this.
I thought she was great in Poor Things, even though that isn't a very large role. I know that's another one that people
I'm making the same noise as David on that one.
Yeah, I was
pumped on.
My whole thing with her was I first saw her in The Leftovers, didn't know who she was, and was like the girl playing the daughter like has such a look, and then Googled and was like, oh, it's Andie MacDowell's daughter. Well, that'll give you a look.
It'll give you a look.
She's a looker.
Yeah.
But she's very good in The Leftovers, and so I was like, check, noted, like, and then when she was in the sort of the Nepo maelstrom that is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I was like, oh, that's, I guess, something Quentin's going for, right? Like, because there's so many daughters of and sons of famous people in that movie.
Right.
It feels pointed.
But he also like identifies like 10 of the next.
He does. I mean, it is
stars.
crazy that they're all hanging out at the fucking Spawn Ranch, right? Sydney Sweeney and all those people.
Yeah.
Whoever else is in that. I can't remember. Who else is in it?
Dakota Fanning.
She's great.
Yeah.
Love her.
That Leonardo DiCaprio guy is
Never
making
heard
some
of him.
waves.
He is in the movie.
He's in the movie as well. I think.
But she's very good in it.
She's good.
Yes.
And then I have just been like, she's one of the most like coin flip actors for me since then.
Sure.
Where I have like performances others have bumped on. Blue Moon this year, which is a movie I adore. She has this like 15-minute monologue in it that I think she does a good job, and it's sort of supposed to make me feel on edge. But it really exemplified the Margaret Qualley experience for me, where I was just like, do I like this? Like, she's pretty and she's holding the camera, like, but is this a good performance, or am I just kind of like, is it just kind of sticking out?
Sure.
In a way that's me, whatever. I don't know. It's hard to say.
I think her Driveway Dolls performance as Sandy Cheeks, the astronaut squirrel from from the land, is very broad and in quotes, and is sort of
for sure,
consciously cosplaying, right?
Absolutely.
She's not looking for any sort of like realism in that. In this, just because it was another film from the same team with the same lead actress, I was expecting her to do the same thing. And I think she is I was, God, I don't want to say I was surprised by how grounded she was, but maybe just in comparison to the previous work.
Yeah.
That I was kind of buying her in this milieu, playing it relatively straight. I agree with you that there's an element to it, feels like the character is doing an act and is kind of self-stylized as, a hero of her own story.
Yeah.
Which is why you want the movie to like unwind her a little bit. I think that is the ultimate failing, is not in her performance, and that they actually don't give her fucking anything to play other than like an improv scene genre exercise of private detective.
Yeah. When I saw it on the big screen, I think I got a little fooled by the magic of the movies, because I was like, I actually think she's pretty good in it, and I was shocked.
Yeah.
Because in general, I tend to dislike her in most things. And maybe I'm just holding a grudge because she plays Anne Reinking and can't dance, and Fosse Verdon drove me insane.
Look, fair.
Listen, it's a capital offense where I'm from. But no, I watched it on the big screen. I was like, oh, she's actually pretty good. I'm like shocked. And then I watched it again the other day, and I was like, I actually don't know.
Am I seeing through this?
Was I just like, wow, she's the size of a house?
But sure. But also, how much of that is like, you go into it knowing that there's no there for the character, right?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I was just so hoping that something would coalesce more interesting about the movie that wasn't happening, that I just found myself so frustrated that maybe I took it out that way. I don't know.
I was looking at your August 18th log of this movie, seeing it at MoMI, the moment when I pinged David and said, Mattie seems to half like this. We should have her on the show. I don't know if we're going to find anyone more positive than this.
We talked about having you on the show, man.
And you said, really loved the first half of this. Everyone was good. Looks very good, but feels a lot less than the sum of its parts. Honey, just okay. Honey, fine.
Yeah.
And then I messaged you, and you said you were disappointed it wasn't worse because you had better letterbox jokes lined up that you then didn't get to use.
That's correct.
Remember any of those?
I think it was like Honey Won't. Honey Shouldn't. Things of this nature.
Honey Shan't.
Honey Shan't.
My favorite was Honey Don't ... See it.
Yeah, you would. Yeah.
Honey Third Act Problems. Right? Was that one of them?
Honey Third Act Problems.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's a solid one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would be funny if Honey's like, I've solved the mystery. There's third act problems.
But I think watching it the first time, you're like,
sorry, I was doing a magnifying glass.
This is going somewhere, and clearly at some point this character will deepen.
Sure.
Beyond just kind of an affectation.
Yeah.
Here's what I think this movie is actually sort of trying to be about.
Okay.
Vaginas. No, what I actually sort of think it's trying to be about.
Boobs. The long good boob.
Now you sound like David.
It'd be funny if we were like, the big debate, vagina versus boobs. No. Okay. What's it about?
I think it's actually trying to be about examining the ways in which men hold power over women. If you look at the prism of everything happening around her in this movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is sort of like, here is someone who is a private investigator. She works for no one.
Sure. She's a private dick.
But she doesn't have one.
But she doesn't have
I don't understand this.
But she's dealing with...
a lady doing detective? Sorry, go ahead.
A lady doing detective.
A lady doing detective.
She's dealing with the law, you know?
Mm-hmm.
She's dealing with her clients. She's dealing with the criminal element. She is dealing with organized religion, you know, or perhaps cults that are sort of framing themselves as organized religion to become consolidations of money and power and sex and cults of personality. And the relationship with the father, which is the point where I'm watching it the first time and I'm like, okay, is this going somewhere?
Right.
Is there thematically something here in this sort of like someone who has worked so hard to define herself not in relationship to any man, not only because that is not how she sexually identifies, but also because she doesn't want to be part of these systems, right? And like the early stuff with her sister, who's Kristen Connolly, who's an actress I like a lot.
Love that actor.
And I like that scene, the two of them on the porch together, where it feels like there's actually some real emotion here. Like, where is this going? Her sister, who
answer is kind of nowhere.
Nowhere.
When she's in the house.
Her sister has many children.
Yeah.
There's like kind of no solid male figure in sight. She's pregnant yet again and makes a crack about her siblings her children can't even remember how many siblings they have right now. They're not excited for the new baby.
Right.
And her oldest child is played by Talia Ryder, who's in her rebellious teen phase, is dating a bad guy.
Right. An obvious sort of future abusive husband if things go that way.
Right. It's
whatever.
like a cycle is continuing.
Right.
You'll later find out that Honey's father, who's trying to make amends, was also abusive, that they've both distanced themselves from him, and that the daughter's lashing out, that she feels like her mother's critiquing her too much and warning her about how badly things are going to turn out. When she's looking for support, she's getting anger, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And how do women end up giving power over to men? Which is the biggest fucking mess of this movie is, just getting into spoilers, Aubrey Plaza revealing herself to be like an 80s movie slasher villain who has gone insane victim blaming women who are victims of abuse because she thinks it's about women being weak enough that they let themselves be abused.
Yeah. So I'm going to solve that by kidnapping random teenagers and torturing them to death.
That my father abused me.
Yeah.
And I now resent other people who don't know how to correct that situation because she murdered her father to get out of it, or he died independently. I can't remember.
In the very spot you're standing, honey.
What's the problem there?
I would say it's not played very well.
So that was what I was about to say. I would say that is a twist that would be tough to get across maybe anyway, because it feels a little out of nowhere and a little convenient, yada, yada, yada. I also think Plaza cannot do it.
She cannot.
And that's another actor that I make a noise about when I'm like, do I like this actor?
She is way more that for me. And you had told me, like, watching this, like, I'm questioning if she can act at all. So I went in watching it, and until the final scene, I was like, I actually like her more in this than most things.
Because
I liked her a lot in the rest of it because she's really good.
She's good at that.
She's good at playing horny.
Good at playing horny, good at playing flirty, good at playing kind of temptress. Mean temptress
works
thingy.
so well into the last scene. The whole time, like, wow, Aubrey, like, put her in the center of the movie.
It's almost like they didn't tell her the twist until like the minute they were rolling in there. Oh, and by the way, you've been the murderer the whole time.
By the way, I'm like, I'm sympathetic to her where I watch that final sequence and I'm like, this feels like an actor being like, well, I'm going to try my best. This is a tough fucking assignment they gave me. and I'm going to figure out a way and see if I have any into playing it in a way that is believable.
My thing with Plaza had always been I had struggled with some of I didn't like her very much in Legion, but I didn't like that show much or whatever. Like I didn't like Ingrid Goes West as much as some people did. But then I did like Emily the Criminal, which was a bit of an underseen little gem. And like there were certain things I enjoy her in Megalopolis.
I was going to say she gets what movie she's in.
I love her
more than any other actor in the cast. She knows
sometimes,
exactly what movie she's in.
Sometimes it hits, and then sometimes I'm like, well, this didn't work. And this was kind of it was hitting and doesn't work all in one movie.
It's all of it.
Ben, do you have a take here? I feel like, or no, okay.
I just kind of have a crush on her.
So
I'm
wait,
always
Aubrey Plaza. Here,
I'm
you're
sort of always in the bag for her.
Wait, Ben. You like someone who has a kind of could be mean to me vibe? I don't understand this. This is not is not your track
There's
record
just
remotely.
something about her cold cruelty.
Yeah.
That just for whatever reason sparks something in
Does
me.
not reflect your wife.
No,
An
very much so.
earlier era of
Kind of one of the billion reasons we love your wife.
Sort of a dating history. Yes, that conjures up for me.
Ben is bright red.
A lot of WoW's platinum in the past.
Yes.
More
Yes.
Emily's The Criminals,
Yeah,
I would say than WoW's Platinum.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Because, listen, WoW Platinum has got some pretty nefarious motives, if I recall correctly.
Wow, Platinum is up to no good.
Yeah.
Do you know what's crazy?
What's up?
So her character's name is WoW Platinum, right?
correct.
So true.
And WoW is one of the words that is said most often on the Doughboys podcast. And the highest honor they can bestow upon anything is the Platinum Play Club.
So true.
And so I was watching this movie and
okay.
wondering, does Francis Ford Coppola listen to the Doughboys podcast? Which does make sense because they're a Coppola goofball.
Thank you for saying that. And of course, that's something Nick Weiger said about 400 times last year.
No,
on
I
Doughboys.
think I'm the first one to say that on any podcast. Have any of you seen Megadoc?
No, not yet.
I have a
need to
link.
because I am very invested in Nickelodeon.
Absolutely.
It
a movie
rules.
I liked.
It rules. It's great as a document. It's great
Mattie,
as...
we're both interested in municipal politics and wacko movies made by madmen.
Yeah.
It's got both of
That's
these going
a
on,
really,
baby.
hey, that's a really good point.
Yep.
I'm in the same boat as the two of you.
Yeah.
I think that movie is fascinating as like a supplemental document to understanding Megalopolis, but it's also like actually a good movie in its own right.
Well, I understood it perfectly. No problems.
Aubrey Plaza comes out of that movie
Coherent film. A to B to C.
looking the best.
She does. She's one of the top, like...
No, out of Megadoc, I'm saying, makes her look even
interesting.
She looks the
Okay,
best.
even
Oh,
better.
I thought you meant maybe in the wig she looks the best.
She does.
She is looking pretty good.
But you watch that and like both the behind the scenes footage of her interacting on set and in rehearsals and whatever. They show all the like fucking weird Francis Ford Coppola acting exercise improv stuff. Like all this footage you haven't seen of her performing in character, that's all great and you're watching raw takes. But also all of her interviews, she comes off funny and smart and like the most transparent about everything that was happening in the ecosystem of that movie.
Yeah.
So I watched that and I'm like, she does kind of get it, undeniably. And also, she is someone who, versus a lot of her like contemporaries, has really been committed to movies.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that. She tries stuff. She does interesting projects. You're absolutely.
And
honestly, same with Margaret Qualley.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, what I'm giving people respect for working, but I like that they're working. Like,
but
doing interesting stuff.
I think Aubrey Plaza, if I can even go a step further in a way that I just like, she gets brownie points for me forever for this. Like, does a lot of low budget stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
With like first or second time filmmakers,
Right.
where it feels like she's actually producing it, getting it off the ground, calling her friends interested in taking like a fifth supporting part in something, just to work with interesting people, and has done a season of White Lotus and did Legion or whatever, but doesn't just feel like she's doing the fucking streaming prestige cash
She also
in.
did Agatha all along.
You're right.
Forget.
You're right. She's done a couple, but she's like
was it the whole
not.
time?
It sure was.
She
Agatha
is
all along,
largely,
in my opinion, the best MCU thing since fucking Avengers Endgame or whatever.
she is largely not doing big payday streaming bullshit that doesn't exist, which almost all of the people from her generation got caught up doing.
Wow.
Now, speaking of, Chris Evans is in this movie. It represents Chris Evans' try-year, 2025, where he decided to try giving a shit again.
He got off his ass a little bit. I would say he's been somewhat forthcoming. Like, I'm aware that I made a bunch of dog shit after Knives Out, right? Like, he's sort of said it out loud, right?
Thank God.
Like, because his post, we talked about it, but the sort of like gray man ghosted Pain Hustlers Red One. Jesus Christ.
It's really bad.
Sorry, is there a movie called Pain Hustlers? Or are you saying two different movies?
Pain Hustlers is a Netflix film. I mean, that honestly, that's the most
the best.
arty thing he did. It's like a biopic about opioid hustlers. It was Emily Blunt and Chris Evans. It was, it came and went.
From 2019, when he has Knives Out and Endgame, and you're like, here we go. This guy's unlocked. He's freed from Marvel,
right?
And he just killed it in a movie playing a real person.
Yeah, he's off the leash.
Here we go. And then for the next 6 years, or for the next 5 years,
sure,
because 2025 is when he gives a shit again.
Yeah.
For the next 5 years, he only does streaming bullshit, and the only 2 movies he is in that go to theaters are Lightyear, in which he played the real Buzz Lightyear.
Well, in the universe of
Not the toy, the man that the toy is based on.
That's right.
It was based on a film that is, of course, disgusting and frazzled Snoop Dogg with its portrayal of lesbianism.
I'm definitely
coming back to Honey Don't.
I'm just unfair. How is he supposed to explain this?
He should never watch Honey Don't.
He seemed to more be saying that he possibly is too stoned to literally explain homosexual relationships.
Yeah.
And that Lightyear was simply bothering him because it was prompting that.
Also,
he wasn't even like, get this woke off my screen. He was like, I am too lazy to explain anything.
If you have ever taken a small child to see a movie,
Yeah.
something I know you now do, David.
I sure have, yeah. And my child has unfortunately seen Lightyear like 7 or 8 times.
Really?
I told you, I've said this on this podcast before. She calls it Grumpy Buzz. She doesn't even like it that much, but occasionally she's like, I want to watch Grumpy Buzz.
I don't know
like,
if you told me this before. I forgot this.
I've
Does
seen
she
that
like
movie
socks?
a lot. She definitely likes socks more than most of the movie because that's at least a cat that's cute.
Calling it Grumpy Buzz kind of underlines the core problem of that movie's existence.
She really zeroed in right
She's
on
right.
Like, what the movie's giving you. It's
What if
like,
Buzz
it's
Lightyear
Buzz,
isn't
but she's
fun?
kind of grumpy, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen Lightyear? You can check that one out.
Hey, I just have a real quick question for you. Why would I have seen Lightyear?
Great question.
I watch a
Why
lot
do
of
you experience the adventures of Buzz Lightyear?
I've said this before in the pod, but I was dating a woman, and
Okay.
at the time that Lightyear came out, and I went to go see it by myself, and she found the stub in my pocket, and I think it's not unrelated.
It was like
that I was
finding
dumped within
like 2 condoms
days.
in your pocket, 1 used. She's like,
what
the
is this?
I was just checking out Grumpy Buzz.
She was like,
Lightyear stuff?
Did you take your little cousin? And I was like, no, I had time after record. I went to go see it by myself.
I mean, I'll watch basically anything. I'll also watch anything animated, basically. But
Same. My ass got
yeah, I was gonna say,
Lightyear kind of looks all right.
It looks good.
It's a pretty expensive
I guess I'm
animated film.
Yeah, Pixar kind of lost me is the thing.
I think
I
they've
know,
kind of
shocking take, guys.
lost
Pixar's
it.
not as good as it used
The
to be.
weird thing about Lightyear, there are many weird things about it,
Yeah.
obviously, but is that the plot is basically like Diet Interstellar. It's got like this complicated, like time dilation plot. Yes, go ahead.
Exactly what I
Yes,
was going to
yes,
say.
yes,
You
yes.
take a small child to see any movie, they will ask you a question every 15 seconds about what's going on
At
screen.
a certain age, yes.
So first of all, Snoop Dogg's point is invalidated because it's like, what? I don't want to have to explain this.
No,
And
you
it's like,
also have to explain like relativity.
you're going to have to. This is a movie that has
This is
such
true.
complicated concepts in it.
It does. It
Does
does.
anybody fold the piece of paper and put a pencil through it?
I
The thing
think
they
It
do in
doesn't
every,
do that.
I think
every
they-
science fiction movie since the dawn of time has
This
done
is
that.
what's so weird is that Interstellar, a movie for grown-ups, does that, and everyone's like, "Oh, fucking Christopher
Thanks for
Nolan,
the explanation.
treating us like babies." And then Lightyear's like, "Fine, we got it. You want to be treated like grown-ups," and doesn't take the time to explain it to children.
Let me just say, I'm going to tangent off this tangent because we don't need to discuss Lightyear that much anyway.
Juicy fingers. How are you supposed to explain juicy fingers to your children?
Sorry?
What's
The
that?
worst concept in Lightyear is that in their alternate reality or their future, their far-off future,
Sure, it's the future.
they eat inverted sandwiches where the meat is on the
Oh, yeah,
outside
that's
and the
right.
bread's in the middle. And Buzz said, "Why would you do that?" And they go, "So you get juicy fingers. That's the best part. When the meat juices get on your fingers and you have to lick them
sounds
off."
like the kind of sex joke that would be in Honey Don't.
Explain that shit to your grandchildren, Snoop.
I haven't explained anything that's happening in Lightyear to my child, who seems to have forgotten that movie exists recently, which is good.
Juicy fingers.
I had to pivot off of Lightyear. Where Juicy Fingers
Tangent
really,
off a tangent.
really threw me.
Juicy
though, and
fingers.
I was forgetting
Relativity,
what it was.
not
Relativity.
explaining,
Relativity.
pencil through the
David
paper.
Gyasi or Gyasi, I'm not sure how you say his
Romilly.
name. who plays
Astronaut Romilly.
Romilly in
My
Interstellar,
sister.
is now in Netflix's The Diplomat, a show that I watch and enjoy.
Is that the Kerry Russell
That's the Kerry Russell show where there's a twist every fucking 5 minutes and it rocks and it's very silly and frothy.
Cool.
It makes me look up from doing the dishes.
Exactly. And David Gyasi is in it playing a hot British foreign secretary. And it's just always a pleasure to see that guy. He's
great.
so fucking good looking. He's also a good actor.
Great in Cloud Atlas.
Yes, he is.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, he rules.
He's just got like a really, really great like drawl, great way of talking, a great furrowed brow. Like he's great.
Mhm.
It's great.
The only other movie that Chris Evans was in that went to theaters was, of course, Free Guy, where he makes a 3-second cameo, seemingly filmed on an iPhone, playing himself.
He did do that. He is. I mean, Red One, I believe, did go to theaters.
Yeah.
Did it not? I mean,
you are
Yes.
tragically correct.
I mean, like, and
on
I actually,
technicality.
I did see Gray Man in theaters, but that was at 4-wall.
Did
Red
he-
One got like a real release, I guess.
It did, but it still is streaming bullshit.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Did he reprise his role as Lucas Lee on the Scott Pilgrim show?
He did.
He did.
Which,
and
dude,
he's
I
great.
think that performance in that movie is so fucking
He's
good.
so
He's
good.
awesome in that movie.
Yeah.
Chris Evans is a good and charming actor
Yes.
who's been working on our screens for more than 20 years at this point.
I have always been a big defender.
Yeah.
And I think you look at stuff like Lucas Lee, like
Yeah.
Not Another Teen Movie, where you're like, this guy does get it.
Yeah.
Like he is able to poke fun at himself in a way that shows that he doesn't know. He can't contend that he doesn't know what good material is.
No, he's got taste.
Because he's kind of in on the joke and he's worked with good filmmakers before.
I don't like materialists, but I don't think he's bad in it.
I think he's quite good.
he's sort of doing his best.
I like him a lot
With
in
material I
it.
don't
That's a
really
movie I
like.
obviously
You defend.
defend. But I also think that movie has a core issue with his performance that I think this movie carries as well. I have not seen the third film in his tri-year trilogy is the Kent Jones film, Late Fame.
Yeah, well, I think that hasn't actually, that got like a festival. but that
Yes,
hasn't
it's
been
played at
released
festivals.
yet.
You have not seen it yet.
No,
have
I
you?
didn't see it. I'd like to see it.
I don't know what he has lined up outside of
he's-
seemingly returning to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
No, what? They got their hooks back in him?
Well,
Seemingly,
he's very much like as his like biceps and pecs are bulging out of his like t-shirt on like the red carpet. He's like, I don't think I'm gonna be in that one, and he's like got a fucking Captain American shield in his back, basically. It's like, I mean, maybe if they call me briefly, I might
he's
show
wearing
up.
the mask.
They've tattooed it on his face. He shaved his head. Yeah.
He's in the Romain Gavras film Sacrifice,
yes.
which was at TIFF,
Right.
which with Anya Taylor-Joy. I
So
don't
he
know
has
much about
two
it.
festival movies that haven't premiered yet, right? Yeah.
Chris Evans, do we like him in this movie? The thing about him in this movie, in which he plays a sort of, as you say, religious cult leader, the televangelist-y sort of like thing.
But the movie introduces you to him misbehaving before you even see him at the pulpit. It is front loaded with.
He's naked a lot of the
You
movie.
just gave me a look that I cannot describe why you said that.
He's got like a fucking strip mall church that is really a front for a drug
It's called
operation
the-
where they're funneling money from the Friends,
The
but also
four-way church
It's
or
the
something?
four-way.
Oh, God.
and
Doesn't this? Go ahead, finish your thought, and then I have a thought.
he also loves to fuck and he
loves
fucks
to
everybody and
fuck.
it's
He likes
basically a
big
sex
boobs
And
cult.
he
and
makes all the
butts.
female prisoners wear like chain
Right.
bikinis under their robes.
And he
Yes.
directs them during sex.
So like,
Right.
he, like
Doesn't this all feel very like 80s,
Yes.
90s kind of humor about like televangelists
It
and
feels
TV
tired.
priests and very tired?
Well, this is
And you're like that thing of like, what you don't know is like religious people can be hypocrites. And I'm like, yeah, we know that. Like that is done and dusted. That is old news.
JJ did not do a dossier for this
No,
episode. He
'cause
is
he's fired. Exactly.
But
Because we told him not to do it, but it was reverse psychology. We wanted him to do it.
yeah, and he failed the test.
Exactly.
I was hoping to see the giant book get opened up, but I guess not.
sorry.
Yeah,
It's
no, I'm
okay.
sorry. It's on the shelf this week. But there were changes made to this versus the Drive Away Dolls script remaining untouched and kept as a period piece, right? This was a script that she wrote at an earlier point.
I believe all of these, including fucking, Beaver Parade or
Go
whatever the
Beavers
fuck
doesn't
is-
have a script. I have
Go
to remind
Beavers
you, it
is
hasn't been
not-
written.
I know,
They
but
told me personally it's not written.
It's an
But
idea.
there may be a treatment or sketch out there somewhere, right? Like
Right.
it wasn't
they
just
have.
that someone was like, "Go Beavers," and they were like, "Put a pin in that."
They said that they had the ideas down, but they hadn't cracked it yet. And I was
Right,
like, what
right.
are you possibly going to crack?
That's my only question is, was this written in full in like 2002 and then dusted off and like COVID reference,
Because obvious-
updated?
I have
Obviously-
a the COVID reference. They talked about it specifically at the
Okay.
Talk Block because it bothered me.
Yeah.
Because again, attention to detail shit that was driving me insane.
Yeah.
Where it's like, again, in like in Driveway Dolls,
Mhm.
my lovely wife, who was a food writer, pointed this out to me.
Mhm.
They order a rosé in the 90s. They would have ordered a blush wine.
That's a
and
good
that's
call.
the sort of mistake that the brothers together do not make.
Right.
And then it's like, I don't give that much of a shit, but it does like whatever. And then
your wife is obviously one of the best food writers in
she's
America,
America's best food writer,
so
in my
God bless
opinion.
her for noticing these
Yes.
things.
And then in this movie, the COVID thing is like Billy Eichner, if he's that guy that they say he is, which is like a weird joke that I don't care about and is not very good.
His
But if
character
he
is introduced as a client who is methodically wiping off the chair in her office before he sits in it, and then he turns to her and goes like, "Can't be
COVID.
too careful. COVID."
It's still everywhere.
Right.
And he's like, if he was actually that kind of like very conscious person about COVID, he would be wearing a mask.
That is-
you're right that it is bizarre and lazy. Exactly.
And the joke is in there, they said, because they wanted people to know that it was not a period piece off the bat.
Okay.
And it is there to serve a function, not to actually be funny.
There are other ways you can.
Nope, there's no other way,
you watch
actually.
people
It's the
use
only
an
way.
iPhone all the time. Ah!
That
Bizarre.
is
Someone look at a calendar. I'm always looking at calendars, paper calendar.
I'm always, when I greet my friends, I'm always saying the dates to them.
I'm always like, and as we all know, it's 2025.
How's your November 4th going?
You are right, David, that
Yes.
watching this film, you're like, this does feel like a script that has been sitting on a dusty shelf for 25 years, and that you're like, yeah, we've kind of moved past this surface level takedown of, do you know that some Christians are actually bad?
I mean, now, again, I'm not saying that Christians are good or that
Right.
Christians are above reproach in cinematic satire. I'm more just kind of like, did you know priests can be horny and nefarious? Doesn't feel shocking.
A lot
And
of
this
first
film
pitch
really
stuff.
seems to think that
Yes.
I am going to be like, I cannot believe that Chris Evans is fucking ladies in this
I mean,
movie.
75% of his screen time is probably in that bed fucking somebody, right?
Or nude arguing with
He is
somebody.
often in the buff or in tighty whiteies of some sort.
Here's my core complaint, and I buy it more for this character than Materialist, where he is playing a struggling theater actor with integrity who doesn't want to sell out.
Right.
I think Chris Evans has gotten too obsessed with the self-manicuring. I'm sure he's spending $1 million on physical upkeep a day, right? He looks
That
incredible,
feels like it's not profitable.
But
He's
he is
spending $1 million a day.
almost
It's a
getting
lot of money.
$52 million.
He's almost getting to a
Fucking
point where I'm
52
just
million.
like, it
Three
looks,
$65 million a
Jesus
year.
Christ. It looks what? Sorry, what
it
does it look
looks like his beard is being lined up in between words.
I think his beard is a little too perfectly cropped.
And
Yes,
I
would agree
feel
with
this
you
way
on
about
this.
everything.
Yeah,
I just,
yeah, same
the
with
last 2
Materialist,
years
yeah.
of it, every time he shows up, I'm just like, you look too good now. It's not a genetic thing.
I mean,
The hair is too well maintained. Your muscles are too perfect. Your chest is too shaved. The beard lines are too clean. You know, whatever fucking dermatologist like regiment you have on or whatever work, I'm just like, you are starting to not feel like a real person. It
Yeah.
perhaps works for Captain America, but yet I would argue part of what was so successful about him as Captain America is he somehow made that guy feel a little earthbound. And now
he plays him so corny in
Right.
a way that's like, whatever, when the dumb shit, but when he's like, oh, here's the list of movies I gotta watch. It feels like, oh, like here's like a human being.
he's like starting to look like an anime hunk. And I'm truly
Yeah.
just like, spend 15 minutes less in the makeup chair. Like if you're making an indie, just like let it grow out a little bit.
Yeah.
Pull
I mean-
it a little bit. I get that this guy is vain and self-obsessed and would be this.
well, it makes more sense. In Materialist, it bugged me more.
In Materialist, it bugged me. In this, I'm just like,
But in Materialist, it didn't matter because it just went handheld when you were in his apartment, and now I know he's poor. Sorry, it's my critique.
It's a
One
good
of my
movie.
many critiques.
It's a
of
good movie.
Materialists.
but I'm just like, this Chris Evans, the actor, has access to treatments that
Yeah.
this character does not have.
And a strip mall. Yeah. And Bakersfield.
Bakersfield,
Yeah.
Right. I'll believe that
fair.
he spends 2 hours in the mirror every day.
But I think what you're doing is nitpicking, honey, don't. And you did it too, and I've done it already as well. We've all done it. And it's like, Driveway Dolls tries this, and this movie tries this too. This kind of like, fucking, this is a chill movie, man. This is a
Yeah.
ramshackle little delight. Like, we just threw this together. Stop taking this so seriously. And in Drive Away Dolls, I kind of roll with it.
Mhm.
In this one, I don't so much, partly because, as Mattie pointed out, there's a lot of like grisly kind of lurid stuff that, I'm bouncing up against much like harder. And so, I don't know.
Well, because you want there to be a point to it. Every other time the Coens have done this, you're like, it is serving ultimately thematic concerns.
Yeah, it felt a little bit like watching those like in the early 2000s, there were a lot of those like pitch black comedies.
The post-Tarantino kind of crime murder comedy.
We've all spent a night at McCool.
That's correct. And the whole time that those movies are always going, like staring at you down the barrel of the camera, being like, and we're having fun, right? You're having fun. It's wacky and fun.
What are you, offended?
I mean, honestly.
Are you mad at what happened to Smoochie? And I'm like,
poor Smoochie. Death has happened to him.
Well,
like
death is being threatened.
This movie's giving death to Smoochie a little bit to me, where it's like it's
a movie
just
that Griffin defends.
A movie that I liked a lot when I saw it when I was. What year did that come out?
Like 2002. And Mattie, I was right there
17,
with you. I think we're very similar ages.
Yes.
And I was like, this is twisted. This is dark.
It's twisted.
I get that that's transgressive, and I'm supposed to be like, good. Good.
I will
good
say
transgression.
this. I rewatched it recently.
I also hate society.
I rewatched it recently. I still like it.
Okay,
there is no question that the best time to watch Death to Smoochie is when you are a teenager.
When you're a teenager.
It will never hit as hard as the ages from 13 to 18. Yeah.
But like, there's like, am I wrong here? It's got like, I was trying to like think of more examples of funitis, but like, this is a thing that sometimes movies do. And like, I think Driveway Dolls also did it to some extent, which is just like, it's fun.
But we butted up against this with Lady Killers, which is like another murder comedy.
Which I've not seen because I'm afraid of it.
but is a movie that very much like maintains the like, this is fun energy.
Yeah.
And like Honey Don't, it like has these moments of like her talking to her sister, you know?
Yeah.
Like the runner having his mother attacked. Like these things where you're like, it's slowing down. It's like investing in character. It's not trying to maintain this like, come on, don't take any of it seriously thing, which makes you want to believe it is building up to some ultimate point. The end of this movie, just to like skip ahead, right?
Yeah.
The basic setup of this movie is Honey.
I mean, the premise is that Honey gets a fucking case. People are dying. Girls are getting killed. What's going on?
A woman who had hired her shows up dead in a car crash.
It's a classic fucking Raymond Chandler-y kind of setup.
Yes.
It's like she, like it's the case she should stop sniffing around, but it's too intriguing. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Charlie Day is a local cop who has a big crush on her.
Very nuanced performance from Mr. Day.
The thing is I've been at over 20 years of watching Mr. Day on my screen, both large and small.
Same.
I'm inculcated to his fucking shit.
Everybody enjoys him.
Every time he's on screen, I'm having a ball. He makes a problem I have with this movie is that most of the jokes are not very funny.
Mm-hmm.
He has the one thing that made me laugh so hard in the last scene of the film where he says sex hookers.
Yeah.
It made me laugh. And I was like, you know what? Against my better judgment, I laughed at that joke. And you know what? I'm laughing. So thank you.
Charlie Day, a.k.a. Luigi.
A.k.a. Luigi.
Is a funny guy. And I'm pretty much always rooting for him, despite the fact that he is insanely rich and I do not need to root for him. He's fine. He does not need my help whatsoever.
If you are quiet for even a moment, he'll die. If you listen to home right now, believe in Charlie Day, please clap.
I
was going to make the same joke.
Not trying to talk shit, but I do think he seems like the most sort of level and chill of the Sunny guys. Like,
by a country mile.
Seem like they've got stuff. They're hardworking guys. They make their show.
Yeah. Well,
like, they do a lot of
Glenn
stuff
Howard
that I
is
like.
From Waterloo, where the vampires hang out.
And he fucking crushed that shit.
I love that movie.
And Rob Mack, I believe.
Stop! Don't say any more. Heartbreaks on that name. Do you know about this, Ben?
No, I also don't know about this.
Rob McElhenney. I'm sorry.
Jeez, not to dead name him.
I'm sorry.
Not to dead name him, but he was born Rob McElhenney. And for the 25 years of his career, that is the name he has gone by.
He's credited that way and on many episodes of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, his hit show.
A show he not only stars in, but he created.
And owns, yes.
Right.
Yes.
He becomes best friends with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
They own
the funniest
You
man
might
in
have
the
heard
world.
this, but they own a soccer team.
Well, he's married to that girl from Age of Adeline, right?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard about the soccer team.
And it does feel like he's become somewhat infected by the mogul brain of Ryan Reynolds.
A little bit.
And wanting to be like Ryan Reynolds.
Be kind of like a sort of personality brand in a way that Ryan Reynolds also is.
He's doing like a more successful run of what Ashton Kutcher was attempting 15 years ago.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
man. Oh,
and
God.
Remember that?
When he was the most followed person on Twitter? Yes, I do.
And he was like starting tech companies or whatever. Yeah.
It's also funny that he was like the person who basically minted Twitter. And then he had one bad tweet that was like, oh no, they fired Jopa? What happened?
Oh, fuck.
Do you mean X the Everything app?
Yeah. Do you remember this?
I do remember this.
I do not remember that he was going to the mat for Paterno.
Because he didn't know yet about the Sandusky.
Know.
He saw the headline, Joe Paterno out, and he didn't read the rest of the story. And people attacked him in the comments, and he went, got it, I will never tweet again. He actually did it
to him.
Right, where the first time Twitter bit him, he was like, never mind, log out.
Okay.
But anyway.
That's really good advice.
Over the summer, Rob McElhenney, I think it's like People Magazine or someone breaks that he has legally filed a name change petition.
Right.
To be Rob Mack, period.
Rob
legally.
Mack.
And people are like, what the fuck is going on? And then he posts like a 15-minute video.
This is the real Ryan Reynolds-y energy. This video where he's, I don't know if it's actually
Maybe it's
15,
5.
but it's one of those like, hey,
it felt like an
my
hour.
name, is, I have Irish ancestors and like it's been spelt all kinds of ways and it's confusing and no one knows how to pronounce. Like, right? That's kind of his argument.
His argument is, I now do a lot of global business and people in other cultures have a difficult time pronouncing my name. And I have lost hours of my life where I could be making money correcting people on my name. That's actually the jokey kind of explanation he gives, is like, if you add up every time I've been in a meeting with someone and I've had to say it's pronounced McElhenney,
right?
Over years,
sure.
That is 500 hours that I could have been meeting with VCs.
Yeah.
As someone with an actually hard to pronounce last name.
Lubchansky?
It's Lubchansky.
Lubchansky, sorry.
It's okay. You know what?
Sorry, Mattie.
Here's the
Point proven.
I don't care. I'm not changing my name to Mattie Lub.
Exactly.
About it.
Well,
I'm just going to say, my culture is not your costume, Rob Mack.
But his argument of time is money,
That's crazy.
And I'm missing out on deals. And
again,
then
it's just that
Caitlin
video
Olsen, his wife, who he has multiple children with, is like, our children have your name and you didn't talk to us about this.
Sounds like a normal relationship.
Your name is Rob Mack and their name McElhenney.
So it sounds like the video of that one entrepreneur guy that's like, my days are cut into 6-hour chunks.
This is what it's like.
I love that guy.
I love that guy. You've seen that video?
Where he like takes
incredible.
baths and
he's like,
bottled water
by
or
the time,
whatever.
by 3 weeks from now, I've killed you. I've eaten you.
Right.
The video,
incredible.
The video has the energy of like, I inject my son's blood into my penis to stay young.
Yeah, exactly.
Like these insane fucking like biohacking, like grind set tech bro shit.
He doesn't have to do the legal change. He
no.
can just tell people
Nobody
to call
has
him
to do
Rob
anything.
Mack.
Honestly,
He changed it.
the answer
That's
to most
insane.
things of late is you don't have to do
Just
this.
call me Rob.
This is the worldwide phenomenon of everyone is 12 now, I believe.
This
is
is
what
the
they call it.
phenomenon of
There
why
we
can't
go.
I just be 12?
Why can't I just be 12?
But anyway, and again, I want to be clear. Rob Mack has made things that that amuse me.
Yes.
I enjoyed Mythic Quest. I haven't watched the latest season. I feel like everyone fell off with Mythic
Same.
Quest, but there was a time when I enjoyed
Same.
Mythic Quest.
Yeah.
I'm sure Wrexham FC is doing fine. I haven't checked the standings.
You're right, though, that Charlie Day seems to be very at peace with himself
He's
from
just
the
a chill
outside.
list.
He's just like,
He
I'm just
made
gonna,
his passion project, and everyone was like, and he was like, anyway.
yeah, I'll show up and I'll be Charlie Day for 5 minutes in your
Right.
film.
This feels like the kind of thing of like, again, great. If you'd gotten the call from Ethan Coen and he was like, hey, do you want to do some bullshit in my bad movie, Honey Don't? You would have been like, absolutely.
That's
I got
what
to
he
work with the Coen brother.
I mean, his performance, Chris Evans' performance, and Aubrey Plaza's performance in particular have the energy of, I've always wanted to be in a Coen's movie.
I've always wanted to be in a Coen Brothers movie, and I read this script 2 seconds ago.
Right.
Yeah.
I would say it's those two things.
And I'm worried that this is the closest I'll ever get. I could turn this
gotta
down.
take my chance.
Well, what if they never get back together again?
And like you're playing a sleazy priest in a Coen's Brothers movie, a Coen movie rather, is like so. If again, that part I think would be better if it had any jokes that were funny or any dialogue that was even medium interesting or good.
It is such a first draft character. It never goes beyond what he is revealed to be immediately.
Yeah.
And then it's just a repetition of the beat, which I think he plays fairly well.
And I think the more they repeat it, kind of the funnier it is in a way, because especially as the movie gets darker, you're like, oh, here's Charlie doing that again. Okay.
When Chris Evans shows up in church and there's like the big photos of him behind him.
Yes.
I'm like, it got a small chuckle.
I do.
From me, the first time I saw it.
Same.
Yeah.
I do feel like if he had figured out a way to add a dollop of real menace to this performance, it would have been a little interesting. But also, this movie kind of shrugs and goes, this guy doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
He's shot off screen after being forced to perform the heinous crime of cunnilingus upon a woman.
Awful.
I do kind of like that scene. I'm sorry, I was going by the DJ Khaled playbook there. I do kind of like that scene of his final sex scene is with the French drug Nepo queen.
Correct.
Whose name is French for honey, isn't it?
What is her name?
Is her name Miel?
Miel.
Okay.
Which is French for honey.
That is
Yes,
French.
you're
Okay.
correct.
You're
Yes,
right.
right.
The last beat of the movie where they say that.
She
Kind
asked
of
for
funny.
sex American style, and he says missionary, which makes me wonder, then how do French
style.
heterosexual people have sex?
The joke is that missionary is the most boring position, and Americans are boring.
Mhm.
French people, of course, they just kind of like blow cigarette, smoke at each other.
Un petit
until-
mot
right?
de chien.
What's that now? He was trying to
Did
do.
you say a
he said
little death of dog?
He just said dog orgasm.
Okay.
No, what I yeah, that is what I said. I tried to say sex doggy style.
Well,
But you're
sure.
right that what I said was
Petit mot
closer
is-
to. That's
it's not
a
closer
very
to. It's a euphemism for orgasm.
kind of fucked out.
My favorite
Dog
French
orgasm.
euphemism is, and I'm not sure if this is still true. People can let me know. I haven't lived in France a long time. Is that you call a cum stain a carte de France because the map of France kind of looks like a.
You could say that about kind of any map.
France is very hexagonal.
I mean,
It's very cum stainy.
I was going to say, like, you can't say that about, like, Chile.
Yeah,
It'd be like,
Italy.
is something
You
wrong?
don't
Is
come a
something-
boot.
Is something wrong with you?
I think one could come a boot.
All right. Well, all right. Maybe we do a side
Especially if
podcast
you're in
that's like
Canada.
coming shapes. What's going on?
This is a
an
Patreon
hour
now.
20
This
in.
is a side podcast.
No, I'm not sure if that's sustainable.
Can
Maybe
I-
we go country to
episode.
country.
Also, I would say
Oh, and you
coming
do it in the
shapes.
country.
Coming shapes is about the least podcast friendly thing possible.
Sure.
Like in audio form, we're like,
Right.
kind of looks like a boot.
Yeah, guys, I wish you could see this one.
Can I pivot to something way, way less controversial?
I just wanted to say.
Damn it, I was going to do a good joke.
Okay, what's your joke?
You ever seen I Love You, Daddy, the Louis C.K. movie?
Charlie Day's in that.
Charlie Day is in that playing kind of the same role.
Sure.
Like
Charlie
he's-
Day?
Exactly. Like where it's just kind of like
Why won't you fuck me?
every so often he just shows up to be kind of lewd and like that. Yes. And it's sort of the same like, hey, this movie kind of needs like a slap on the cheeks like for 20 minutes.
Every time the camera fucking tracks into the room and he's doing this with his hands and he yells her name.
It's fun.
Every time I'm like, oh, I'm having a good time.
He does, I will say, the least annoying version of his bit that he keeps not even not getting the hint, but just refusing to accept that she is not sexually attracted to men every time he, quote unquote, politely asks her out on a date, right? And he does play it so guilelessly that the bit isn't creepy or annoying. It is kind of harmless and funny.
Yeah, it's
within
kind of
the
like,
framework
oh,
of the
you.
movie.
Yeah, like as like and sort of like thematically, it almost works as you were talking about before. If like the thing is like the way in which men control women's lives.
Yes.
The first interaction you see her have is him hitting on her.
Right.
Right, and it's also the last interaction she has with someone who is not the girl on the motorcycle.
That even in a non-threatening way, his relationship to her is completely transactional. Of all of his kind of cooperation with her is based on when will she agree to go get dinner with me.
Yeah.
And when she explains to him why she won't, he goes like, you always say that.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny. But yes, it's all about, a woman trying to find an identity that is removed from all these systems.
Kinda.
Honey,
kinda.
Chris
Honey,
Evans'
maybe.
final sex scene, he is having sex based on her direction. She is the one
Mhm.
giving the commands, telling him what to do. And then he afterwards says, that was the best sex ever. I like a woman who can take charge.
Sure.
There's some subversion.
He's
And then
subby.
she shoots him in the head
Bam.
while Honey is parked outside or pulling up to his congregation. I should mention the other plot element here is Talia Ryder as her niece.
Right. So you got this kind of like domestic plot line and this murder mystery plot line in parallel. So yes, Talia Ryder is the niece.
She goes missing.
What's the character's name? Corinne.
Right. She's running away from her abusive boyfriend. She doesn't want her mom to find out and say, I told you so. Honey is kind of like helping shield her. She goes to a bus stop. She's creeped out by an old man who she doesn't know is her grandfather.
Right.
And
Played by that actor is named Cale Brown.
I think he's quite good in his
he is. He's got
one
good face.
real scene.
Yeah.
But she's now a second missing person. Are these things connected? And Honey believes that she must have been abducted by Chris Evans and his sex cult. But in fact, Chris Evans is shot
dead
by the French sort of emissary for this drug
operation.
It's clearly them being like, femme fatale, get it? It's
I mean, having her be French does not make sense.
And it's like, the French are running this drug church
out of Bakersfield. What if they wanted to be on the East Coast? That seems like a long way to go.
I think the.
I
agree with
I'm
you.
sorry to poke holes.
They worked backwards from the Vespa, clearly.
They
worked backwards from like, here's a lady wearing all one pattern on a Vespa.
Wouldn't that be funny?
This
Wouldn't that
woman
be
looks
stylish?
incredible.
Yes.
She holds the screen.
It's a very hot lady.
I'm not enjoying myself anytime she's in the movie, but it's adding to the where is all of this going, right? Honey pulls up. She hears a gunshot. Chris Evans has been shot. They don't show her discovering the body or anything like that.
She also sees a motorcycle pull away from the gunshot, and she's not like, maybe I should see where she's going.
She's like, and that's the second point in the movie where she's sort of like driven past this woman, right? But hasn't really engaged with her.
It's clearly blind to her as a suspect because she wants to have sex with her.
Right. And then I'm trying to remember how she figures out that, in fact, Aubrey Plaza is the one.
She just goes over to her house because she's like, I know a cop that can actually help
follow
me.
up.
It is truly right. She just checks in, and Aubrey Plaza is like, FYI, it was me all along.
And Aubrey Plaza's like, you hate me because I'm poor, right? I bet you hate my house.
Yeah. And she's like, I'm from Bakersfield, too.
Right. And then Aubrey Plaza goes like full kind of like serial killer mode, like Pamela Voorhees.
Qualley sees Honey Qualley, and sees
and Honey
2 cups of tea, and is like, who are you making tea for?
And Honey, Qualley and Plaza, Honey and MG have been fucking the whole movie, but it's this kind of like forbidden off on like sort of
that is
quasi relationship.
I think those scenes are all very good and are kind of the closest this movie has to having any real emotion.
There's the scene where they are like basically having sex in the bar in front of all the male cops is like good and like interesting. It's like, these men would not notice. And it's like, it is interesting in a little bit, and it is hot, I think.
I agree.
But then it gets to another problem I have with both this movie and the last one is, does Ethan think gay people are funny? I don't know. There's some things in here where it's like, there was a bit while they were talking, when I heard them talking after the movie that I saw, where they were like, there's that scene right after they have sex where Honey's like cleaning all the dildos and shit. And they were talking about like the only argument they had while filming. It was like they'd have, whatever, they were editing it. And Ethan wanted to hold longer on the sex toy cleaning because he thought it was really funny. And then Tricia says, but he doesn't understand, as lesbians, sex toys are sacred to us. And I was like, okay, one of you thinks this is too funny, and one of you thinks this is too serious.
You're both horseshoeing over here. Like, let's relax. They're just dildos.
I think like perhaps a sort of double-pronged thing happening here, much like a double-sided dildo.
Great segue.
Thank you. In their split up, it does seem clear that Ethan's the horny one of the Coen brothers, right?
Yeah, my stupid letterbox review of Driveway Dolls was like, okay, the big experiment's over, and now we know which Coen is which. Like, let's get a pizza in here and get them back together.
It is frustrating how much this movie plays into the narrative of now we can divide the interests and the skill sets.
Yeah. Which the whole thing was that they were supposed to be like this like complete singular unit that worked so well without speaking, right?
Which I think they are, and I think to some degree versus like, we will see what the second Joel movie is like, right? But Joel seems to be taking their sabbatical from working together as, well, let me explore parts of myself as a director that I never explored.
Yeah.
And treat them with the same level of seriousness as our work together.
Yeah.
And Ethan seems to be specifically on a mission of, I want to not take this stuff as seriously anymore.
Yeah. And Joel had the co-writer too, which William Shakespeare.
He did.
He's from England, I think.
Bill did a pass on that script.
Yeah.
The new film.
De Blasio?
Big Bill de
Big
Blasio.
Bill de Blasio himself.
The new script, there's like not much known about. I think everyone sort of assumes it's a solo writing credit, but no one really knows.
What if he started writing it with Fran just to like even it out?
I mean,
that would be fun.
I don't know. But
I don't know.
We talk about this in our Drive Away Dolls episode, which will have come out, but you have not heard, that Tricia Cook was very outspoken when she was promoting Drive Away Dolls, that where that script came from and the sort of reignited passion to finally put this thing into production is that, especially at the time she started writing this in the 90s, if there was like gay cinema in America, and especially lesbian cinema, it was almost always very serious. Yeah. Very
tragic.
Dramatic.
And she's right. I don't disagree.
Hard to live life.
Yeah.
And even,
coming out stories, getting murdered stories.
Even if it wasn't traumatic, it was about adversity.
Yeah.
You know, it was about processing shame and fighting for happiness and whatever. And she wanted to, the whole thought experiment of these Lesbian B-Movie trilogy of riffs is, can I like remove any sense of self-importance from lesbian storytelling? Can I make lesbian movies that are allowed to just be like dumb and messy, right? But this movie is like touching third rails, or at least like trying to touch serious subjects. It's identifying where serious subjects are, pointing at them and saying, but I don't want to talk about that. In a way. And I think it extends to the representation of sex, which she's just like, I want to show these things on screen in a way that is not the male gaze. And that normalizes it, right? And that also allows it to be funny, but in a way that isn't a punchline. But I do think the balance is kind of off here.
Just something feels a little too much like you think the movie seems to think that it is like a little bit funny when two women are having sex. To me, a little bit. I don't know.
Yes. And I think Drive Away Dolls,
which is, to be clear, it is deadly serious.
Of course.
Sex is very serious.
It's very serious.
Sort of stone faced. It's sort of like I'm like the emoji that's just like line.
I'm wearing the gloves that go up to your elbows and a full ball gown.
Very serious
the whole time.
Yes,
the whole time.
I think Drive Away Dolls, it abstracts its sex scenes to the point of almost feeling like Three Stooges routines. Where it is successful in being like, we are working past this being erotic, that this is just eye candy for like young dudes. By making it so silly that it's hard to kind of objectify it in that sense. And I think this movie, by having scenes where there actually is some sense of palpable connection between her and Aubrey Plaza that is played somewhat real, and there's sort of this sort of ticking clock within the movie of, these are two women who are afraid of commitment. They they fuck and move on. And they're acknowledging that they're worried about having to hit the end point of disconnecting from each other because they don't want to accidentally land in something that feels more serious and committed. That these are people who try to live without attachments.
Yeah, and it feels like it's there already. Like I thought they were pretty good together in a way that
And you know, the introduction of Honey is her in bed with a woman getting the call and saying like
lock the door on your way out.
Right. That she just is really like, I'm moving on. And by comparing notes and revealing that they have the same kind of relationship to relationships, they are unlocking a new level of vulnerability in each other that sort of scares the two of them. And is interesting. And then the movie responds by saying, actually, she's insane.
Right.
We're going to throw hot tea in her face and turn her into like a scarred Bond villain.
She becomes kind of a Bond villain.
Who you have to murder. I feel like...
Yes?
They just don't seem to have that good of a grasp on their material. I don't know.
There is a version of this ending that does not redeem this movie for me, but where Margaret Qualley shows up, puts it together, sees her, Aubrey Plaza just breaks down emotionally. Rather than going full fucking supervillain mode.
Right, full like actual psycho.
And being like, you've discovered my scheme. I must fight you to the death.
Yeah, it's a little Scooby-Doo, except with
it feels very
lesbian murderer. Yes.
That she's sort of like, I don't know, it got out of hand.
Yeah.
Right? That you almost like try to deal with the delayed like time release trauma of this woman and what she's gone through, and like her needing to confess this to someone who she's actually let in emotionally.
Yeah, and that still needs more like something earlier in the movie to clue you in that this lady is perhaps kidnapping people and putting her in her basement.
And it would be hard to pull off in terms of the aforementioned tone management that this movie does not totally have under control. But it feels like the kind of ending that would at least make this film feel like it had something to say.
Yeah. It would have functioned a little better as a movie.
Something on its mind versus it feels like such an easy out to be like, well, that didn't like mean anything. Chris Evans didn't kidnap her. She did kidnap the Honey's original client. She solved that, but he's already dead, so there's nothing she can do about it. She retrieved her niece, who's now back home. You have the kind of one moment of her waking up in the hospital to her sister and the niece being like, thank you so much. Bow tied on that. Honey drives off, sees the French lady on a Vespa. Basically, they're fucking each other with their eyes.
Yeah.
Movie over. So now she's going to get in bed with a different criminal?
Yeah.
What was the point of any of this?
That's a really good question.
Women be out here doing it for themselves?
Women, okay. That is true.
It is true.
It's a crazy world out there, and Honey will always be getting a coffee with her trusty assistant, What's-Her-Pants, and solving the next case and fingering a lady. And I don't know.
I like the assistant.
Keep going.
I like to think she's out there right now.
The dust will be blowing down Bakersfield Avenue.
She'll be flicking through that Rolodex.
Right.
It's not the only thing she's flicking through. I have to say it. I like the assistant character, and I do like that dynamic. To your cosplaying point of like, she's almost like, honey, like you're doing like the bit. Why do you still have a Rolodex? Why are you asking me for coffee as if we're in like some fucking 50s TV show?
She looks like a lesbian from the year 2025. She's got like a Wild Fang shirt on. Like she's,
Her name is Gabby Beans.
Good name.
Yeah, great name.
And that makes sense because she's really obsessed with the coffee.
Hey, now.
That's a good point.
And what were you about to say, David?
For my incredible joke.
She's in the upcoming Steven Spielberg film, which we love to see.
Okay.
And she was in Romeo and Juliet with our friend Rachel.
Oh, the Broadway production?
On Broadway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Even just like the opening credits for this, which I think is kind of a cool visual idea of the cast appearing as signage on closed down businesses.
Rip that off from Fat City? They said they might have.
Yeah.
I think so.
And I'm just like, it's kind of just executed sloppily.
Can I say something about that? No. Not to keep being like, and I was at the talkback, but the only three things I remember have all come up. The last one is that they said they had to go film that twice because they fucked up the first time they filmed it. And it's the things you always hear about the Coen brothers when there's two of them instead of just one, is that they have like the tightest sets you've ever heard of, right? And there's no mistakes, there's no wasted shots, there's no wasted time. And they had to go film, they wasted a day filming the wrong stuff the wrong way to make the credits.
Here's the shame. It also feels like they fucked it up the second time. It feels like they should have done it a third time because I like the idea and it doesn't feel like they figured out the right way to make it to execute it.
It feels like it ended badly or something. I don't know what the...
And someone was on our Reddit was sharing a story of working on a production with someone who worked on Llewyn Davis and asking them about working with the Coens. And he was like, I got so many stories about how they're the fucking best, right?
Right.
Like as guys, as filmmakers, as bosses, as all
fun
of this
stuff, right?
But the anecdote that really stuck with me was he said he remembered looking at the shooting schedule, and in their notes it would say like, shot whatever, set up whatever, 3 takes. And they'd be like, they were allotting 3 takes and they would get it in 3 takes. That they're so good at this that they basically can guess in terms of like how they get these movies made under schedule and under budget, which is always one of the most impressive things about them, that they can correctly kind of eyeball. That might take 6 takes to get right. That one we can probably get in 2. And he was like, they were basically always right about that.
That's wild.
And that's the shit about them that feels magical.
Savant magic, right. Or just experience, but yeah.
And then they split up and you're like, this is completely dissipated. What's going on here? Now, what's frustrating about the Go Beavers thing, if we can circle back here.
Sure, Go Beavers.
Is that when they do interviews now,
I don't get
solo.
it. What's frustrating is that kind of humor is sort of impenetrable to me. It's
Here's
so
a spoiler. I predict that movie will be about vaginas.
Or boobs, if you're David.
That would be a swerve.
Possibly.
The Beaver movie was about boobs.
That's a twist at the end. Yep. The camera pans up.
Eyes up here, buddy.
A little lower. Boobs down here.
Right. My boobs are up here, buddy.
when they do interviews, which they haven't done a ton of since they've been split up.
But they have both. I mean, like Ethan and Tricia did nominal press for this movie. They did more press for Drive Away Dolls because I think they wanted to really underline, like, Tricia was the co-author of this. Yeah. For Honey Don't, I think no one was really barking up the tree anyway. So I couldn't find a lot of reviews.
To that point, I bought the fucking Blu-ray because I'm committed to the great project of Blank Check. I struggle to even define how
the Criterion edition you got?
This feels like a bootleg. The cover feels like it was printed out on like an HP NV 900. It's like the disc art itself was like written on with a Sharpie. It has 0 special features. The menu says play setup. It doesn't have a scene selection option.
Scene selection.
I'm not kidding. Like, it feels like it's a 1997 DVD.
Love it.
Does it have a menu? Like, does anything?
It has a menu that's just play and setup, and it's just this still image. And when you go to setup, the only option is English subtitles.
Is music playing?
No.
The song Honey Don't is not playing?
No, nothing's playing. Oh. Right, there's an original song in this movie that's co-written by Ethan, produced by Jack Antonoff, and sung by Margaret Qualley and Talia Ryder. There are actually 2 songs that follow.
It's not a cover of the famous song Honey Don't?
That also plays, but there are 2 original songs in this movie that Ethan co-wrote.
Are they in the movie?
Yep. When? There's one in a montage where she's driving around, like, interviewing suspects.
Okay.
And watching it
I
this
thought that was just some bad song I'd never heard.
Well,
that
you're not wrong
is
about
what it is.
I guess it was a bad song I'd never heard.
Watching it, I was like, this sounds like Margaret Qualley. And then I looked it up, and I want to say...
It's called Odd Wad Wankers.
Yes.
Sorry. The other one's called In the Sun She Lies.
There's also another one. Her fake name is Lace Manhattan.
The other one's called My Little Black Star, maybe?
Lace Manhattan
I'm looking at
and
the
Dixie Normus are the
For
pen
fuck's
names.
sake, we gotta call it.
This all feels...
I'm playing the box office.
I got so much more to say.
This just feels like when you talk to like a 7-year-old and they're like, my humor's a little bawdy.
Yeah.
Like, it's all, I don't know. It just feels like someone who thinks they are funnier than they are.
I agree. The thing I was going to say.
But he's famously funny. He's one of the Coen brothers.
There's only 2 of them. I know.
I got tickets to see this play he's got running off Broadway right now. That's like 3 1-acts.
Oh.
Everyone who's seen it has said it is actually very good and funny.
Sure, fine.
Aubrey Plaza's
Our
in
friend
it.
Dylan's in it.
Dylan Galula, friend of the podcast. Yes. It's got a good cast and everyone says it's good. And I've asked this 2 people who felt similar to me about Honey Don't, and they're like, yeah, no, it's actually good. I'm not like grading it on a curve. So it's a little odd because he has done these side writing projects and they have worked on their own terms before. Yeah. The thing I was going to say.
Who else is grading people on curves? Honey O'Donohue.
Hey. In the interviews they have done, they're like, we both felt burnout. We took some time. Ethan didn't really want to make stuff anymore. Joel said, maybe I do something on my own, but that we've just been out of sync. Yeah. That they've been writing something together, but then it was like, Honey Don't got greenlit. So then Joel started writing something else. And then by the time Honey Don't came out and Joel was about to go into production on his movie. So now Ethan has to wait for Joel to be finished with his movie before they could make the next thing together. Where it's like, if they did greenlight Go Beavers tomorrow, it might delay the reunion for another 2 years.
Right, which is the last thing we need.
They've been like alternating productions in a way that has fucked us.
I'm getting older all the time.
We all are.
Which is breaking. I didn't realize that was going to keep happening to me, and it does keep happening.
I really thought I was going to beat the trend.
I'm hitting a big roundish number this Saturday.
This Saturday?
Okay. What are you doing?
I'm leaving the country.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm not kidding. I'm gone.
No spoilers, but is it an age that Judd Apatow's particularly obsessed with?
This is.
Yeah, for his film, This is 29, yeah. That's
the roundest number.
The 9 is pretty round. It's a round thing.
I'm realizing he has 2 titles with that age in it.
Does it?
He does. He does.
40-year-old
virgin.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what? How did that never occur to me before? Obviously, I know the 40-year-old virgin was kind of Carell's idea, but it is funny that he's hung up on 40.
Well, you haven't heard.
He's like, you better have either fucked or become a millionaire by the age of 40.
2 of his 6 movies are 40 pictures.
Yeah.
Huh. Anyways, you know what? As it rapidly approaches for me, I kind of understand the man.
Sure.
Yeah.
Your next book is going to be, are you ready to add to the 40 count?
Actually, you know what actually is fucked up about the book I'm working on now? It's a lesbian road trip.
Well.
I'm not kidding.
Well.
So I'm challenging Ethan Coen to single combat with this book.
I think
that
this
I'm
is a
working on.
bar you can clear.
What I'm hoping to do is I put in actual jokes.
Mhm.
So I'm hoping that does something about it.
Interesting approach.
Yeah.
Sorry. You were saying something leading up to as you approach.
Oh, I'm just saying, I'm getting
age.
older all the time. They take 2 more years.
Yes.
I'm gonna even be around.
And look, there's one interview I read with Ethan and Tricia.
Mm-hmm.
Ethan and Tricia, not Eva and Tricia. What the fuck is going on with me?
I thought that's kind of a cute couple name for them.
Ethan.
Ethan.
Yeah.
Where, they're asked like, hey, so you're going to do that third movie? And they're like, oh, maybe. Like, we talk about that.
Mhm.
We wrote a script with our kid. So maybe we do that. Or maybe, and they also say, and Ethan works with Joel and they're doing something. And you're like, oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
And like, again, I do not want to begrudge.
The audience is going like,
people enjoying working with their kids, and it's not like that has never produced something interesting. It can, but it does sometimes feel a little.
I would like you to
guys,
name a couple.
I would probably have to do some strict Googling and research to unearth the ones that are good.
The George Miller movie where I always get the number wrong. 3,000 Years of Solitude.
Oh, that's right. But his kid,
That was
quote
his
unquote,
kid,
is old.
Sure.
Like, no offense to that.
You got to have an old ass kid if you're going to work with them.
It can happen. Of course, it's great. Oh, you collaborate with your kid.
I want the Coens and their families to do whatever makes them
Holding
happy.
baby Joey. Yes,
They have earned it.
Was that is?
But I also agree with you that they are soon to both be in their 70s.
Yeah.
And
That's
the
fine.
film culture has been lacking from their collaborations.
Yeah.
And when it was just the narrative of Ethan is tired, he wants a break, I'm like, by all means, take your break.
Take your break.
But now that we're on the second Lark movie, and in that time he has also produced an evening of theater, I'm like, it's not like you don't want to work.
No, and I think he has said, like, yeah, I'm over that. Like that exhaustion, I dealt with it, and it was invigorating to make these movies with my wife, and isn't that fun? And I'm like, that is fun. Would love you to make something I like.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps a trite complaint of mine. And like, I do kind of have the thing of like, you owe me nothing.
Yeah.
You've made a bunch of shit that I love. You want to make things that don't work for me. That's fine. If you can get the money, go for it.
It's not like
boobs.
Love to see vaginas. It's not like this movie
That's so cheery.
was shot back to back, but they were shot pretty close together, obviously with the same lead actor, and Working Title financed them both. And it does feel like Working Title has benefited from supporting the Coens for decades.
Mm-hmm.
They clearly are like, this is a rounding error for us.
Exactly.
We owe it
it's kind of like, it all evens out, and maybe there's another interesting thing coming or whatever.
But like, I think Honey Don't was in the can before Drive Away Dolls even came out, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Now that 2 of these have been released to pretty violent indifference from the public.
I don't know a single person that's not an absolute freakazoid that has seen it.
Right. Whereas Drive Away Dolls, some people were like, oh, sure. This one, nobody was like, I saw Honey Don't and was disappointed by it.
The only person I know that like saw it, that was like unexpected of me for them to see it was my friend, the drummer in my band Ivy that I took to go see it.
I have had multiple close friends and family members truly say, you didn't see Honey Don't, did you? When it came out, like in the month after it came out. And I was like, yeah, we're doing them on the podcast right now. And they were like, yeah, but I thought you were going to skip that one. Not just that we'd skip the episode, but they'd be like, that you would not feel a compulsive need to see it.
You would skip it because, like, you have to not see it.
These are people who know
for
me.
your health.
It's that,
and know that I couldn't skip it and are like, but you must have skipped that.
It's that one tweet about David Attenborough narrating Planet Earth, just going, skip. Don't like this one. Skip this animal.
It did feel like this was out of theaters within like less than 2 weeks.
I think it did 2 or 3 weeks in theaters. Yeah.
I saw it like a week into its release, and I remember checking showtimes a week later and being like, it's down to like 1 time a day at one theater.
Yeah.
It was gone fast in New York City.
A thing I want to think about is, so when I did see it, they were introducing right after Honey Don't. They introduced The Long Goodbye on the same screen 10 minutes later.
Which is a film Ethan has said was
but I was just kind of like, imagine watching this and then staying in your seat, and then The Long
not going to make Honey Don't look great in retrospect.
No.
I mean, I had a similar experience of
It'll pick you up.
I just watched this for the second time, but 2 days ago I went and saw Wake Up Dead Man.
Oh yeah,
the new Knives Out movie, which had a little preview screening at the Paris. I guess will be out now by the time this episode comes out.
At least in theaters or whatever. I can never keep track of what Netflix rollouts are. Yeah.
But I saw that on Monday or Sunday night. I greatly enjoyed it.
Good movie.
And then I was like, that's going to make this Honey Don't rewatch significantly worse.
That's true in terms of, right.
They're not the
murder
exact
mystery.
same
No,
movie.
but there's,
and even
there's murders that are being solved.
And even its like relationship to like Christian faith in America. Like, it's dealing with some similar stuff.
Well, Wake Up Dead Man has the Rian Johnson thing of it is trying to run at topical shit that sometimes you're a little like, Ryan, this feels on the nose, or Ryan, you're almost too animated by like right now.
Yes.
But at the other time, you're like, kind of respect you taking the swing versus Honey Don't being like, isn't, Pat Robertson a hypocrite? You're like, he's dead.
I will also say this to his credit. All three of these movies, the first time I'm seeing them, about halfway through, I'm like, I get it. This is good. This is fun.
Right. And then
but that's all you got.
And then they get you with the.
And then they get me. And it's not even like a twist thing where I'm like,
Wake Up Dead Man's
oh,
really
you're
good.
doing far more than I thought you were underneath the surface. And I feel like the first half of the movie, I was just like, okay, I get it. It's a Trump thing. That's really all you have to like talk about. And then he's like, no, I'm talking about like 20 things.
Okay.
And it's the kind of flowering you want a movie like
What was
Honey
the
Don't
talk
to
with
have.
J.J. Abrams like?
I
thought that was a very interesting ploy.
I did too. There were 2 screenings that day.
Oh, so you didn't see that?
The one I saw was moderated by Josh Horowitz.
Oh, sure. Well,
he was excellent.
Sure.
He's the king in that.
He's good at that.
They did a surprise of Daniel Craig coming out. The audience exploded.
I just thought it was, when I saw it was Abrams and Rian Johnson, I did the double take. Like my first thing was like, oh, sure, yeah. J.J. Abrams, haven't thought about it. And then I'm like, wait. Didn't he fucking make episode 9, which is basically like taking a piss on episode 8? Like, is this like a grand healing moment? Is this we've always been friends?
I would have loved to have seen it. It did feel like just them sitting on the stage together was meant to be some rebuttal to the like Rock versus Undertaker narrative that the internet has built for the last 10 years.
But it's like The Rock versus The Undertaker if The Rock was like lying perfectly still on the ground.
It's a bit of a hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby situation right now. I mean, I'm all for J.J. Abrams making. Have you not? It's like a Twitter.
It's an incredible name.
I don't think
I think I'm all for J.J. Abrams making. First off, anything. He hasn't fucking made anything since episode 9.
Yeah.
Second off, would love it to be good. Maybe.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
It's by all accounts a Back to the Future riff. It is time travel influenced in some way.
Okay.
Hey, the book I'm working on is also a time travel book.
Hey!
There's nothing wrong with time travel. Time travel rocks. Look, before we play, we plug Maddie's excellent books, which just reminded me to do.
Simplicity.
We should play the box office.
Much
game.
like Rob Mack, just stop. Don't say
Simplicity rocks.
In the land of
August 22nd, 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Honey Don't opens number 8, $3 million.
I saw this movie in a double feature.
It topped out at 5.
Right. Drive Away
could not complete its black hat.
I want to say Drive Away opened to 5 and ended at 10.
Sure. Let's see.
So this was already like completely 50% of something that already didn't.
What this bad boy cost?
That's a great question. No, Drive Away Dolls also only made 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
publicly,
I don't
they're
know.
saying they're like 15 or 20.
Yeah, I think that's probably about right.
Yeah.
They don't seem like they would take that long to make.
I just remembered another gripe I had.
Please go ahead.
Throw it out
very quickly. Is during the talkback, Ethan kept saying "Drive Away Dykes," which I know is the working title of the film.
Yes.
And that's the sort of secret title.
But
of
I was
the
like,
movie,
"Hey,
right?
man, are you allowed to say that?"
Well, again, this is why they did the full court press of like Tricia is a co-equal.
But
I think that's also why the movie was not technically titled that.
He said it so many times,
right?
And every time I'm like, okay, like 8 years ago, I'd be like, all right, whatever, man.
Sure.
Right now,
right here, right now,
right here, like the song says.
Yeah.
Bring back Fatboy Slim. What's that guy doing?
It's a good question. He did the show with David Byrne. That was good. Here Lies Love. Is that what it was called?
Sure.
That was a good show.
Yeah. I saw this movie in a double feature.
No, it wasn't. Never mind.
Really?
There you go.
Sorry.
I like
I was
that
thinking
show.
about American.
Oh, well, American
Utopia.
Utopia
That
was
was
Here,
great.
Here
Lies Love was very
Here Lies Love, I had,
mixed reception.
I had
remember.
political issues with that I
sure.
won't get into on your movie podcast.
No, I don't. I hear that, and I respect that.
Thank you.
I saw this in a double feature with Highest to Lowest, which was just interesting in terms of it being like two late movies from American masters that are kind of being dumped and disregarded.
Yeah, that are funded by. Well, no, actually, Honey Don't isn't a streamer, right? It's a Focus, but yeah.
But Honey Don't, I was like, whew. And then I went across the street with my girlfriend. We got tacos. We walked back into the theater. We saw Highest to Lowest, and we were like pumping our fists. And we were like, this isn't perfect, but God, when it hits, it hits.
More like lowest to highest.
Yeah,
in that regard.
It does kind of build in that order, but it was sort of like, I wish Honey Don't could have delivered some of this juice.
Yeah.
What's number one at the box office?
It is speaking of things that were on streaming, the streaming sensation of the year being pushed onto wider screens 10 weeks into its
So this is
theatrical
interesting
release.
because technically Netflix didn't report the weekend numbers for K-pop Demon Hunters.
But it is listed here on the numbers as the number one movie of this week, making $19 million.
It's one of those, depending on what site you
1,700
check, because it was
screens.
estimates that were like sort of repeated off the record.
It was certainly the most viewed movie of the week in theaters.
No
Right?
question.
No one could really deny this, and it had an insane per screen average because it wasn't on that many screens.
But I believe some outlets reported that Weapons was, by technicality, the number one movie of the weekend.
Fair enough. So number two at the box office is Weapons.
Yes.
One of my favorite movies. I know Maddie didn't like it.
Okay.
I know Maddie didn't like things about it. I know Maddie didn't like things about it because I saw Maddie letterbox about it.
I thought
or something.
I really, really liked most of it.
You didn't love the Amy Maddox.
I thought she was great. Her performance is great. I liked the movie immensely. I was really locked into it for most of it. I thought the ending was so fucking good. I was losing my mind,
Ending's
screaming.
fantastic. Talk about
howling.
sticking the landing.
Talk about paying off like a slot machine.
It was more like I didn't like Barbarian that much.
Right.
And
you
the
felt
thing,
he was dipping in the same.
I felt he was going back to
repeated some of the
Have you
things.
heard
Yes.
Sure.
that I said this on a website I shouldn't have logged into, and I got yelled at for days and days and days and days and days and days and days. But did you know it's very scary when a woman is old? And I think this movie was doing it less than Barbarian. I think I was more mad at the moment about it.
Sure.
Mhm.
I think I would revise my stupid letterbox review to be a little higher,
Sure, fair enough.
and maybe I'll do that
Fair enough.
so no one yells at me. Because now you've loosed them
Dude,
upon me, David.
I fucking logged a 5 out of 10 for Frankenstein, a movie that I know Griffin liked, but hardly was getting like universal praise. And these days, you do this on Letterboxd, there's a gaggle of folks who come yell at you. I'm not mad, and don't put it in the newspaper that I got mad, but I was kind of like, Jesus.
I'll say this.
David's holding up a little sign that says, I'm mad. It's like a little Wile E. Coyote.
It's pointing at him?
It's pointing at himself, which is hard because he's holding it perpendicular to his body.
I liked Frankenstein, but also like very much for me, a gentleman's six with major issues.
Sure.
That also I went to see after hearing like all of my most
Everyone
trusted friends
be like, oh, what a
nuke it from orbit
disappointment.
for 2 months, and I was like, more of this work than I was expecting.
This is the Guillermo del Toro special. Is everyone I know hates it, and then I go watch it. I'm like, I had a nice time.
I mean, you were saying I wish he would make in a text thread we're on. You were saying I wish he would make something like Crimson Peak again.
Fun.
And my
what
thought
a
watching
movie.
Frankenstein was this is what I wanted Crimson Peak to be. Crimson Peak, I totally bounced off of.
Wow.
I do feel like you and
Cannot go there with you.
You
Yeah,
and I
right.
land differently on GDT. We're both
sure.
like hot and cold on him, but we tend to alternate on which ones.
I'll also say the Oscar Isaac performance in Frankenstein goes in the bucket I've created with his Moon Knight and Apocalypse performances where I'm like 3 question marks. Like what? What?
It is weird.
Pedal to the metal kind of performance.
Not
like,
very successful casting.
No.
Elordi's fantastic.
he's great.
in it. And
He's
that's
really great.
what works in the movie, not
Tall.
just his
I'm
performance.
the first to notice.
Is he tall?
Tall
Well,
fella.
he looks too tall to play Elvis, I think.
Tall fella.
You have not seen the film yet, Mattie?
Frankenstein?
Yeah.
No.
There's this bizarre thing, and I was very
What if you're
surprised.
sympathetic to the monster.
Guillermo del Toro seems to relate more to the monster character.
That's what the book is.
Well,
Yes.
I would say
Have you
the whole
read the
movie
book?
is a little bit.
Yes.
That's what the book is.
Yeah.
And
to be fair,
to
most depictions, most adaptations of the book don't really get at that.
I disagree with that.
Yeah.
Well,
but a lot of
sympathetic in all the movies.
But like the classic like Universal monsters depiction is like he is just a beast. Whereas like in the book, he's like wearing a tuxedo and writing letters longhand with a feather.
Which
like
is how to live your life.
That's how to live your
Honey,
life.
don't need more longhand feather letters.
Stitched fingers.
Say that's a theater warm.
Longhand feather letter.
Yeah.
Number 3 at the box office, Griffin, is a film that did pretty good.
Okay.
A legacy sequel.
Mm-hmm.
That I feel like came out, got mad reviews, and kind of like, cleared almost 100 mil at the box office, kind of almost quietly, despite one of its cast members being fucking the loudest person in the world these days. Just enough of her. Maybe I'm being rude.
It was me?
She's a legend. Mattie, shut up. You talk as much
in the world. Legacy
throw
sequel.
that at me.
It's not Sydney Sweeney.
No,
it's not.
I
I
like
know what
Sydney
you did
Sweeney.
last summer.
That I did not like. I did not care for that film.
When did it come out? What week is this? You said?
This is its 3rd week of release. So it came out sort of August 8th.
Beginning of August.
My wedding anniversary.
It doesn't quite hit 100, but it gets close.
94.
Loudest person in the world.
She's just, there's been a lot of her lately.
She's
off the leash, as am I sometimes, so I respect it. But I do feel like she's felt very empowered to be,
it
a
is
big
Jamie Lee Curtis,
personality.
Freakier Friday. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Where she's like, should I fire off a Charlie Kirk tweet? I'm going to do it. Like some PR person is like, Jamie, forget it.
I defend her Oscar-winning performance. I think she is quite good in Everything Everywhere All at Once. I do think nothing good has come from giving her that Oscar.
It has certainly empowered her to go large. Very, very broad performances, I would say, of late.
Yes.
I will never forget queuing up that Bear episode. That's just her and Abby Elliott's face in close-ups. Me and my wife watching it for 10 minutes and then me going, I think the whole episode is going to be this. And my wife going, I mean, no way, come on. And I sort of do I like track, I hit the Apple remote to see this, the little screen as you track. And I'm like, it's just their faces, the whole thing's just their faces.
I will say.
You're just like, do we have any diapers to change?
I will say.
Hey, go poop. Come on.
Please give us
the Bear post season 1. A lot of episodes, you're kind of like, is this going to be the whole episode?
The whole thing's going to be this. Oh, the whole thing's going to be. And I liked season 2.
I liked season 2.
And season 3, there were things I liked. There were episodes that worked for me.
Yet watched 4. Much like the Lady Killers, I'm afraid of it.
Same. Or I watched some and then haven't finished it yet.
Yeah.
Freakier Friday. Did you see Freakier Friday?
I still have not seen it.
Neither have
I will watch it when it's on Disney Plus.
Ben, you saw it.
Say what?
I'm joking. You probably didn't see Freakier Friday either.
I feel like everyone I know who's seen it is like
everyone said it was like that's fine. It's kind of what you think it is. Yeah, right. Exactly.
It looks like a shampoo commercial, but it's effective. Right.
Who directed it?
What's her name?
Garnier, the brand.
The woman who did Late Night and Blinded by the Light.
Nisha Ganatra. Yes,
right.
Did,
yeah.
Late Night, the great.
Who could
no,
forget?
she didn't do.
No,
come on, that's Gurinder Chadha. That's a real
I'm
great
sorry.
filmmaker.
I'm sorry.
But she did do Late Night, and then she did a movie I think called The High Note with Dakota Johnson. That was sort
and
of
Tracy Ellis Ross and Ice Cube.
COVID forgotten film.
Yes.
Number 4. Did you see Freakier Friday? No. You didn't.
I didn't get freaky with it. Yeah, I don't know.
Happy Lindsay Lohan seems to have leveled out. Or
she seems fine. Yeah. She is in a commercial that drives me insane where she's like talking about her children's toys or something that I get 85,000 times while I'm trying to watch my shows while I draw. And for that, she's dead to me.
Accepted.
Yeah.
Number 4 at the box office is big superhero film of the year that did probably about the lowest acceptable amount that
the Fantastic Four:
Colin
First Steps.
Right. It squeaked over 500 worldwide.
It just narrowly avoided
it was not a flop,
an embarrassment.
But it was not, I think, the runaway bounce back they wanted.
No, either. Especially when you consider Deadpool and Wolverine aside, that being their highest grossing film or their second highest grossing film in years is faint.
Marvel.
Praise.
Imagine.
Because it outgrossed Thunderbolts. It outgrossed Captain America, Brave New World. All respect to our president.
Wow. I didn't realize he was here.
He's right there.
Get off my rose garden.
He's been listening to me the whole time.
On our highest shelf.
You got to warn me.
The films before
I will appoint the leader to every position in the cabinet.
The films before that.
Adamantium. Remember when that movie is like about like Japan and America negotiating an adamantium mining treaty?
It's
that's the plot of that Stephen Sondheim musical.
Yeah, it's the plot of a Mouchette.
One of the fallen celestials has become an island with adamantium in its skull.
Is there a problem with
And the
that?
countries are fighting over it.
It also outgrossed the Marvels. It did not outgross Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Okay.
It did barely outgross Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, but
There we
that's
go.
not what you want
No.
it to be doing.
No.
I was going to say, just imagine being Peyton Reed and you are about to make your 60s Fantastic Four movie and you make Down with Love, one of the best movies of the last 30 years,
Great movie.
in my opinion.
Wonderful
Yeah.
movie.
Incredible movie.
Yep.
Shout out to my wife for making me watch it because it was her favorite movie in high school. Anyways, great movie. But imagine being him and you want to make your Fantastic Four 60s movie and nobody likes Down with Love, so they don't let you. And then 20 years later, they make it and it has, it looks like that.
Look, I partially defend First Steps, but it must have been really frustrating to him to make Quantumania and then watch someone else make the kind of Fantastic Four movie that he had always wanted to
That
make
he would have nailed.
and not totally
I think he would
hit it.
have done a better job with it.
Yeah.
Oh, number 5 at the box office is another animated film, a sequel.
But not a squeakquel.
No, not that I'm aware of.
It's The Bad Guys 2.
That's correct.
A movie that quietly kind of disappointed. It ended up at 80?
It ended up at the grand total of $82 million.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like the first one outgrossed it, and that was 2022, I want to say, and also was like when Peacock was putting movies on their streaming service 3 days after they were in theaters.
Take that for what you will.
Went to see it with the Ehrlichs.
Oh yeah, Asa saw it.
It's his favorite movie.
Sure.
Didn't
I think
really
he may
move
have
the
been
needle for
displaced
me.
by whatever he's seen lately. But
The last
yes.
time I went over there, he was watching it for the 80,000th time that day.
Number 6 at the box office this week was Nobody 2. It is a lot of like, okay, stuff in the box office this August.
I do like it.
Yeah.
It gives me a little bit of hope for like the health of cinema going.
Yeah.
That Nobody 2 is kind of what we need more of.
Sure.
Which is like you make a
Yeah.
$15 million movie that makes like 50 worldwide,
Sure.
and Universal goes like, why not make a
Fuck
sequel?
it, who cares?
It's fine. You
And
can
the
make a
sequel made,
movie
like,
that gets on like
45.
second base, and people
Right.
are like, okay, sure.
Number 7, James Gunn's Superman, which in its 7th week is outgrossing Honey Don't.
Mm.
Number 9,
Mm.
The Great Naked Gun.
Yeah.
From
You see Naked Gun?
Yeah, I when it was funny, it was so funny. The last act kind of lost me.
I think there's great bits in the last.
I
act.
think
do
there's good,
Yeah.
but it was like when the jokes were good, I was like having the time of my fucking life.
I will say I saw it a second time in theaters, and I found it did not quite have the replay value
Sure.
that for me, I rewatched the fucking 3 original movies once a year.
I grew up watching. We had 33 and a third taped off of television.
Yeah.
And I watched it until it broke. I
They
think.
still-
Like, yeah.
The jokes hit still
Yes.
on the 50th watch for me. And I like the Naked Gun 2025 a tremendous amount, but
Yeah.
I did feel a little bit more of its creakiness the second watch. Still, best studio comedy we've
here's-
had in quite some time.
I mean, the whole time I was watching it, and I was just like, "Oh, there's like a comedy with jokes in it."
I was
I can't. Can you believe it?
so happy
A
while
miracle.
watching it. And even like, just to be clear, watching it the second time, I was very happy watching it. I just wasn't in the ecstatic euphoria I was in the first time.
Yeah, I also missed it in theaters, so I watched it at home, which I think maybe to
It
my
was a
detriment.
very good movie to see with theaters.
Yeah,
in theaters with an audience.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Number 10 at the box office, Griffin's favorite film of the year, Jurassic World Rebirth. There you go.
Is that your review of the film?
It's
Number opening at
so
number.
much. It
That's-
sucks.
Oh,
shocking.
Not
so
a fan. Not a fan of that one, were you?
Quite poor.
It stars People's Sexiest Man Alive.
I like him.
Yeah, I like him too.
He gives the best performance in that movie.
Sure. I mean, I suppose.
I mean, what's the competition? That dinosaur that's a mix of 2 different
I
dinosaurs?
think Mahershala gives the best performance. That guy kind of can't be bad, and that movie is like trying so hard. It's like weighing him down with bad, and he's still like basically fine.
I agree that he can't embarrass himself.
Yeah.
Like, he's just got like too much like legitimate presence.
Yeah, you know what I was watching the other day was Alita Battle Angel.
He's
Fucking
Which-
good movie.
Which
Good movie.
A good movie.
Yes.
Mhm.
2, he fucking rocks in.
Yeah.
He looks cool as hell.
Remember how that movie is like, she's like, I'm a big-eyed crazy robot and I don't know what's going on with me. And then she's like, I do remember what's going on with me. I was in a moon war. And then she's like, I need to do rollerball fucking cyber sports.
My dad is a rocket
And I'm
hammer.
like, yes. And then the end of the movie is like, Edward Norton lives in space. And I'm like, yes, he does.
Yeah.
I can't believe they never made a second one of those.
Christoph Waltz is a giant hammer. Yes, he does.
I was genuinely so convinced in my conspiracy theory addled brain that when Disney bought Fox, James Cameron was going to make it a contractual point that they had to greenlight a second Alita for him to keep making avatars.
Sure, right.
No, because he had the
James
avatar
Cameron
bargaining
could
chip.
sell one of his submarines and they can make a new avatar whatever he wants.
I was like, if he wants Alita to happen at Disney, now that they're so invested in the avatar business, it'll happen. And it seems like he's just been like, public doesn't want it.
I think there's a world where there could have been some momentum and then COVID kind of killed it.
The momentum is absolutely gone.
Yeah.
The momentum was lost in a moon war.
Yeah.
Moon War. It's just so good when she's like, fuck, I remember Moon War. And I'm like, what?
Remember how she has like bespoke porcelain arms?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do. It's
beautiful.
I have the steel book that's her hand, her porcelain hand.
That one goes for a pretty penny these
I
days.
know, baby.
Okay,
It's
baby.
all mine.
Proud of you, baby.
Sorry.
We should mention
What
also
a weird way to end our Coen Brothers miniseries.
our friends at
Me going,
Super Yaki sent over very nicely some co-branded Focus Features promo Honey Don't air fresheners.
I'm giving it one more sniff to try and get to the bottom of
Our
actually had
windowless
to-
studio smells great right now.
I had to get it off my desk. It was starting to.
I did get a good
pungent.
sniff on the
They're
microphone.
strong. They're meant for cars and not podcast studios.
Well, I would say cars are smaller than podcast studios, but yes. Well, not all podcast studios, though. Not that first one we had.
That's true.
That was kind of
pretty
car
small.
size.
That was like a van-sized
That was a
studio.
mid-sized sedan.
It's like a smart car or some shit.
Remember?
Why does Honey, who is like so self-serious, have a Honey Don't license plate?
It's a great question. Well, it's her little twist of whimsy, much like ordering the coffee. I don't fucking know. I don't know.
Sorry for mentioning the movie.
Ben's Honey Don't thoughts?
Yeah, Ben, any other thoughts apart from crush on Aubrey? Love it. That should be the review. That should be what I said to the rep as I exited the theater. As I get further away, the air is still leaving my body.
Eraserhead noise. Yeah.
Oh my God. The classic what do you say to the rep thing of like, where you're like, it was interesting. I gotta go.
The projector was on. They did a good job turning that on.
That seat was working.
It did not break.
I'll say this.
Both arms were
It
there.
passed the time while I did laundry.
Oh.
Watched it on my phone as the way
Oscar
it was
incoming.
intended.
If
What if the Oscars give this 14 nominations? That'd be funny.
they've gone
Best
woke.
phone movie.
You think it'll get an original song?
3. It'll get 3. 3
Because
original
there's
song
none,
noms.
right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, what are the K-pop Demon Hunters will clean up.
oh
the-
yeah,
yeah,
but
the
imagine
song.
them getting an original song nomination for this and not for Mr. Kenley.
That'd be great.
That'd be great.
That'd be
That'd be good.
deserved.
It'd be good.
Maddie,
Maddie,
yeah,
when
Please
does
plug
Simplicity come out?
everything that you do,
Please
not
do.
just your wonderful.
too many things. But yeah, please buy my book. I have 2 books or 3 books out on the market, but the most recent one is called Simplicity. You can buy it at any your local bookstore, any of the stores online,
I would
whatever.
say it's a somewhat tough story to sum up in a good way.
It is elevator pitchless. It has been out for
It's true. You need that elevator to be going to like the 200th floor.
like it is fully
local.
this book I finished writing and drawing this book a year and a half ago, and I'm still like, people are like, what's the book about? And I'm like,
It's
you gotta
really good.
sit down. It's really, I'm really proud of it. It's like, but it's about like revolution and love and sex and technology and
But
a lot of, I do know that they, the first printer it was supposed to be printed at in China rejected it because there were too many nude butts in it.
too many
It's
butts.
your In the Night Kitchen.
It's my, correct. And, yeah. And also I have 2 podcasts myself. One is about mayors. It's called No Gods, No Mayors, nogodsnomayors.com, where
Yes.
every week we talk about a mayor because they're all maniacs.
We're
And I-
recording this on election day itself. Not stressed at all.
I'm actually feeling really normal.
I lack the ability to have faith in things, but hopefully
I'd love
I'll
to see
feel
it.
good tomorrow morning.
I would love to see it.
I would love to see one specific thing happen to one specific older man.
Yes. We'd all like to see
Curtis
New
Lee will
York.
become mayor.
I was going to say, in solidarity, don their red berets tomorrow morning as a new era for this city dawns.
Yeah, well, you're going to know because you have to wake up and you've been conscripted into building a feral cat colony in a park to encourage cat colonies to take care of the rat problem.
Mm-hmm.
But every week we talk about, it's me and November and Riley from Trash Future, and we talk about mayors. And then I also do another show with my friend Clayton Ashley called Temporal Culture War, where we talk about the early 2000s while we watch Star Trek Enterprise.
Wait, how do I not know about this show?
David,
I don't know.
It's like right up my alley.
That's rude of you.
It's called Temporal. We've been doing it for about a year.
It is so funny to me, just to tangent that I'm sure you will agree, that they were like, we fucking need to go back to basics. The show will be a prequel. It will strip things away. It won't have complicated Star Trek because it's a prequel. It'll be about the Enterprise, the first one. Scott Bakula, we need to be really conservative here. Get the most ordinary, straight arrow guy to play the captain. And then 2 episodes in, they're like, there's a temporal war happening with the 30th century. There's bug people. It's so complicated.
They abandoned the Time War.
They do.
After a season and a half.
Because clearly UPN was like, enough!
No, it's because 9/11 happens.
Oh, that's right.
So the whole point of the show is we're watching it, and then every week we also talk about the movies that came out that week, music, TV, and also the news that week in 2001 to 2005.
Yeah.
And we're into the second season right now. But they drop all of it and it becomes 24 set in space.
Right.
But it's Republican Star Trek.
Yes.
It's there's a fictional man called Lawrence, Kansas, I say, is watching the show in his truck on a little TV.
What's T-Pole up to these days?
It is pronounced T'Pol.
T'Pol, Jolene Blaylock.
I will say, I kept saying T'Pol on the show, and one listener wrote in so angry at me and Clayton, and now we have to say it 1,000 times an episode to get it correct.
I wish I could relate. I simply never have been criticized online for mispronouncing words.
I think Jolene Blaylock is truly one of those, makes most of the money just doing the very consistent Star Trek circuit persons.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gets nothing to do on that show.
Yeah.
And does so much with it. She's actually kind of astonishing.
I think she's good. I like T'Pol. I like that character. I'm always pro Vulcans. I love a Vulcan.
Who's your favorite Vulcan?
Tuvok.
I was gonna say Tuvok, baby.
I fucking love that motherfucker. The episode where he mind melds, the Voyager episode where he mind melds with Brad Dourif and he goes crazy. Is one of my favorite.
It's Brad Dourif. Remember the
Brad Dourif plays a serial killer who's on the Voyager.
Yeah.
And then they're like, we don't know what
Brad Dourif? No, you must be thinking of someone different. They would never cast him to play a serial killer who goes crazy.
Oh God, he's really good.
Remember the one where he
comes back?
He melds with Neelix?
Of course. What? Tuvix? Of course. Do you know about Tuvix?
It's Mitch Gorfine himself.
Yes.
Do you know about Tuvix?
We talked about this in
No. We talked about Neelix, who's a character on Voyager.
Okay, I haven't finished that episode yet. You talk about
We talked about Ethan Phillips. But there's an
correct
episode of
me.
Voyager where Tuvok, who is the Vulcan on Voyager, and Neelix, who is the bizarre alien chef that they picked up while they're in the Delta Quadrant.
with his 4-year-old girlfriend.
With a girlfriend who, yes, canonically is 3 or 4 years old because she has a 10-year lifespan.
He imprinted upon her?
Let's not even get into it. Merge in a teleporter accident into one being called Tuvix.
The Fly.
It's a mix of them, right?
The Fly style.
Which is kind of fun.
rules.
And the episode is kind of about how everyone's honestly kind of prefer Tuvix to either Tuvok or Neelix, kind of the best of both worlds with this guy. But then at the end of the episode, the doctor's like, so I figured out a way how to separate them. And Janeway's like, great news. And Tuvix is like, oh, hi, that would kill me. I'm a new being.
Fuck.
You can't kill me. That's murder.
Yeah.
And Janeway's like, got it. Think we got to do it. And they do it. And then the episode just kind of ends with them being like, well, that was kind of fucked up. And it's kind of never addressed again.
Voyager rocks.
Voyager is so good.
I love Voyager.
Yeah.
Do you my project while I drew Simplicity was I watched all of Star Trek.
Yes, hell yeah.
All of it. From
original
the
series
beginning all the way through.
Did you watch the animated show?
I did not watch the 60s animated show.
I have never watched that, and I've always thought I should do that someday.
Yeah. Would people prefer this podcast if it were hosted by Gravid?
Kind of like Gravid. I mean, it's again, the iconic Bluey episode, Mini Bluey, in which Bluey pates Bingo Blue and is like, here's how to be Bluey and essentially be obnoxious. And the parents are like, God, this is so annoying. And then they're like, okay, well, then we'll be 2 Bingos. So Bingo paints Bluey brown. And then they're like, Bingo. So they're both being good. And the dad's just like, honestly, this rocks. And Bluey is like, that hurts my feelings. And they're like, oh, sorry. And then the episode just ends. It's so good.
That's good.
Yes.
It's really good.
Sorry. Had to discuss that. Thank you for being
do you watch Bluey as a parent of young children?
I watch 3 episodes of Bluey every single day. I have seen every Bluey so many times. It is absolutely fucking crazy at this point. I can do like the dialogue.
How many episodes are there in total?
There's about 150.
Every parent I know is putting up me in 1998 watching The Simpsons numbers and watching Bluey. Like
exactly correct. Exactly the same vibe. And honestly, Bluey is so good that I am never like, ugh. There's like 3 Bluey episodes where when my daughter picks it, I'm like, oh, this one. Everything else good. What's up, Ben?
Well, the one where they explain how Bingo got his tattoos. It's a lost joke.
It's a pretty good joke.
It was okay. I was trying to think of
I see.
shorthand for famously
Like
bad
a famous
episode.
you want. A famous skip.
Yeah.
So links to all of Mattie's plugs.
Wonderful work.
Good work.
Are available in the episode description.
Thank you for producing this podcast, Ben.
I also have a plug.
Please. Oh, I know what this plug is for. I've been seeing some IGs.
It's the holiday season.
Oh,
Yes,
shit.
it
I
is
just
of
realized when
course
this
the
episode's
holiday
coming out.
season. This episode comes out on December 7th, so it's actually been about a week since Slow Christmas number 5 released on all streaming platforms.
Perhaps you've noticed shit slowing down around you.
Ho. Ho.
Hell yeah.
Slow Xmas V.
Yep. This year, it's being served cold burr.
What is that? Unlike the others?
Bundle up and sip away them holiday season blues with wintry, ethereal tunes. Yummy!
We'll love it.
I like the implication that the other ones were too hot to touch.
So a link to that album will be in the episode description as well. And then lastly, here at the end of the episode, before you take us out, Griffin, we're just going to tack on at the end. A few months back when we were in LA, we've mentioned it, I think, in past episodes. We curated a screening.
American Cinematheque, friend of the fest, we presented Hudsucker Proxy.
And we just did a little intro.
Yeah.
They were nice enough to record that intro.
Oh, cool.
And so we'll just add that here at the end of the episode.
Enjoy that. This has been the end of our Coens series. I think we did our rankings on the Buster Scruggs app.
More of the pomp and circumstance ending.
Did you rank your
business? And yeah, here's my ranking of the Ethan Tricia Cook films.
Driveway Dolls, Honey Don't.
Weird. I actually have in first Driveway Dolls and in second Honey Don't.
Haven't watched the Jerry Lee Lewis thing yet. My guess is it's probably in between the two or
No,
something.
I put it third.
Okay.
Now let's rank our solo Joels quickly. At number 1, I have The Tragedy of Macbeth.
Oh, interesting. Me too.
Okay.
Okay. Next week, we are going to do an episode on the new James L. Brooks movie, Ella McKay.
Truly, of all the filmmakers we've covered who are still alive, the one I was least expecting would release another movie ever.
Yeah, sure. Well, here it comes.
It's kind of an exciting treat. And then the following week after that.
So this like indie project that's being put out by, I don't know, some studio I've never heard of. Avatar: Fire and Ash. Now, Maddie, I know you don't like those movies.
Okay.
Which is fine.
I will keep seeing them in theaters as long as I live.
I think
because I enjoy a spectacle. I like.
You've never vibed with them as much as some.
Yeah.
You
correct.
don't like them yet.
I have problems with Mr. Cameron's approach.
He's going to keep making them, and one of these days he's going to get you.
Okay. I will say, watching the preview for the new one has me the most like, perhaps I will like this one. Because I think is pretty cool is Fire.
Varang, Ash.
As a former pyromaniac.
As recovered a lapsed pyromaniac. I will actually, Griff, we should say, and then in January,
I agree.
We will be doing an episode on. Is this thing on?
Wait a second. Is this thing
on?
Is this thing on?
Bradley Cooper's Sad Dad stand-up comedy.
Yes.
Divorce film.
Yes, completing our kind of in progress Bradley Cooper.
Not completing. I assume we'll make more movies, but continuing.
Yes, continuing. Sorry.
And then we're going to do an episode on Park Chan-wook's No Other Choice. There's lots of blank check directors at this point putting out movies all around Christmas time.
It tends to happen this time of year.
The timing is pretty good
up.
though, because these things will hopefully have been expanded enough that people will be able to see them. Blah.
December 28th is our one dark week every year, but we have a block of 4 episodes across 5 weeks that are all new releases. And then, of course, as everyone knows, as everyone has guessed online,
oceans are now battlefields.
Yes.
Harrison Ford is John Book.
Dig up your dead poets, because the next miniseries on main feed is Lynn Ramsey. You motherfuckers. You don't know shit.
I mean, you know a fair
Lynn
amount.
Ramsey next, not Peter Weir, you motherfuckers. Peter Weir's after Lynn Ramsey.
Peter Weir after Lynn Ramsey. We have we planned this long ago when we found that Lynn was finally doing another movie.
One of, in my opinion, the best filmmakers alive, and I've
Griff
been
has
waiting.
always said, Whenever she does a movie next, we're doing her. We're doing the 5 feature films from that wacky Scott, Lynn Ramsey.
That wacky Scott.
And then indeed we will be doing Peter Weir.
It has just made us feel so big and special and smart when people reading the tea leaves are like, so Weir is definitely next, right? And we're like, these fuckers don't even know. They'll slipping in a quick 5.
They might know,
and then they'll know,
like
and
fucking Morvan Caller or whatever.
Right.
Hey, fuck it. Since we're talking about 2026, over on the Patreon feed, we're going to be kicking off the year with a new commentary series.
We are.
Oh, that's true.
The films of Wizard of Oz.
Oh.
The Oz.
They don't all have the wizard in them. Although I guess they all kind of do.
I think they might all in some form or other. Does Return to Oz have one?
I'm trying. I think the wizard does not appear in Return.
That might
to
be the
Oz.
only one.
But we are in a Patreon commentary series going to do Victor Fleming's The Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
The Wiz.
Yes.
Return to Oz.
Yes.
Wicked and Wicked for Good. We are not revisiting Sam Raimi's Oz the Great and Powerful.
You can check that episode.
Are you guys
We
going to have
already
the Sphere?
released it. I ain't going to no Sphere.
Mattie, I think we should.
As much as I ethically support what's going on in that
I think
Sphere.
we should.
I just want to see Phil Dolan in it, my friend and yours.
I hear he's so good in it. I hear his performance is so good in it.
That harmonica. Zaslav's in there.
He should have known. There's a part where he sings, I should have known about the wizard.
All right. We need to record ads. I
That's
need
a
to go to the
reference
bathroom
to
and then go home to my loving
James Dolan
family.
being friends with Harvey Weinstein and then releasing a pop song about his guilt. Do you know about this?
I do, but we have to be
known,
done.
I should have known. I think we could go another 20 minutes. Mattie, thank you for being
Yeah,
here.
oh my God, thank you so much for having me on. This is such a blast.
You're the best.
I love the show so much. It's very important for me that I got to come on.
That's very nice of you, and it was good to have you on. I promise you will return to the show not to do Honey Don't. There will be better films in your future, or at least more interesting.
David,
Hell yeah.
You can't promise that we won't ask Mattie to do Honey Don't.
It's possible we'll do another Honey Don't. You never know.
You can't promise that.
A honey double dip.
It could always happen.
I mean, we revisited Clifford. So
right, and this film's definitely as good as that one.
Maybe
Absolutely.
we just have to go back and do Honey Don't.
Yeah. Mattie, you contributed an art piece to our Decade of Dreams art show earlier this year. A really good retired bits hanging up the rafters piece. I just wanted to make sure we vocally thanked you on microphone.
Thank you so much. That was such an incredible blast to draw.
It was so much fun.
I really enjoyed drawing some buried jeans.
Yeah. Everyone should read your books and listen to your podcasts.
Thank you.
And thank you all for listening. And I hope you all have fun checking out these new releases with us. And then Lynn Ramsey in January. And then, of course, we're never covering Peter Weir. Thank you all for listening. And as always, Honey Don't is about vaginas.
Without further ado, please welcome from Blank Check, Griffin, Beth, and Marie.
Hello. Oh, wait. Should we be color coordinating hula hoops with mic cords? Yeah, okay.
I don't think there's a purple one.
Ben's got the...
Okay.
I got yellow. We could maybe combine a couple colors. Hello, everybody. Now that we got that important business out of the way, thank you so much for coming here. Thanks, guys. Maybe gonna try to attempt to do the first 3-person hula hoop live intro simultaneous performance.
I don't think that we had planned for wired mics.
That was it was not a consideration. We'd asked for headsets, so we'd ask for a headset mic.
Okay, maybe let's try to get a little bit of distance from each
maybe
other.
this is the solution.
This is great. We're just working it out on the fly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Marie's husband said, however good you think you are at this, it's a lot harder than it seems. And I said, I think I'm terrible at this. So it's going to be a real... Okay.
I read that you're supposed to put like one foot in front of the other.
Okay.
And then like keep your top part of your body straight. And then just kind of like this.
It's a this thing?
It's,
I thought it was a hip thing.
It's in the hips.
Okay.
All right, on 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
That was really good, guys.
That was
really good.
It's kind of an A for effort situation.
About as well as I thought
Spent
it would.
$45 on these.
We bought them at the Grove.
It was
so it was kind of a markup situation.
There was an activation happening, free perfume samples. Who here has seen this movie before? And let's do the inverse. Who has never seen this film before?
You know,
Wow.
the hula hoop thing later.
Yeah. It'll make sense. It's only a spoiler if you acknowledge that I just told you it was a spoiler. Otherwise, it seemed random. This is one of my favorite movies of all time. One of my 10 favorites, which with our very, very normal listenership online. And when I say this, by the way, all of you are cool and normal. I'm talking only about the Redditors who aren't in the room. But I've seen a lot of preemptive, is Griffin really gonna fucking rank Hudsucker above Fargo and No Country?
Well, you said on the episode,
I've said this many times.
It's my favorite, but I wouldn't say it's their best.
They made Fargo. I know they made Fargo. I'm not an idiot. These guys have made like 15 masterpieces. But this is a movie that is just so completely on my wavelength. It is, it's just like the pop song I can't help but dance to. I saw it for the first time in 35mm at MoMA in New York City, and I went into seeing it being like, this is the one that everyone thinks sucks, right? And from the first shot, even those of you who have seen this before, if you haven't seen it on big screen, if you haven't seen it on celluloid, I do think it is like genuinely one of the great film craft movies. It is like the one time they got to work on a really big budget with entirely analog models and sets and costumes and practical optically printed effects and all these things that just kind of make me cry thinking about them existing. We used to make things in this country, and if I could just grant me a moment here. This film was, of course, shot in North Carolina.
Yeah, it does feel like a New York movie, which
It
is
is.
funny because we're in LA.
Yes.
And Lebowski is our current
Yes.
episode, and that's a LA movie.
Yes. But I believe The Crow, which we just covered on our Patreon, also was shot in North Carolina.
The same set?
The Super Mario Brothers movie, I think at least one of the Ninja Turtles, there was this weird rush in the 80s and 90s
Did they
to
just
build
have like
your
a
fake.
shitty New York
A lot of
in
them are
North Carolina?
reusing these same things, and in particular, this movie, the Coen brothers tricked Joel Silver into getting Warner Brothers to give him a bunch of money to build these buildings that were reused like 1 trillion times. So if you're like, man, I can't believe they let the Coen brothers build these crazy sets. Joel Schumacher stole them. Batman scaled these buildings many times. Even since our episode came out, I've had a lot of people be like, I frankly don't get this movie. And I think it's a really interesting one because it seems to split people on, for Coen brothers fans who have some hang-ups with them, they feel like this movie is emblematic of, are they just pastiche? Is it just style? Is it just effect? And is this movie really cynical? Is this movie making fun of all of its characters? Is it all a lark? And I have the read that I think this is quietly their most sincere film. I think they mean everything in it. I think it's a fascinating midpoint between them and Sam Raimi, who they came up with. It is what they tried to do with Crime Wave, obviously one of the best movies ever made.
Love that movie.
But making a tribute to the kind of films they grew up loving, but infusing it with a modern sensibility and combining different eras and different styles. And I think it is, at the end of the day, a very open-hearted movie about what if the dumbest guy had the best idea. And it's a really, really fun conceit for a film to have the entire audience know that he's right from the beginning. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you'll learn soon enough. But thank you to the folks at American Cinematheque. Awesome to be here.
But Griffin, I mean, speaking of sincerity
Sure.
and a really good idea,
Yeah.
actually brought a prototype out here with me today.
Right.
So just give me one sec.
Yeah, Ben's trying to launch a new product here tonight.
Okay. So what we have here is Chain for Bad Kids. And you can do a lot of stuff with it. I mean, you look cool.
And just quick
You kind
show
of
of
swing it
hands.
around. I mean, there's endless possibilities.
It seems like easy to scale, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Quick show of hands now that the chain's been brought out. Who has never listened to the podcast Blank Check? Okay. Yeah.
Again, once you see the movie, you'll get it.
Yeah. Maybe not the chain part, but everything else. Thank you for being here. Yeah.
Thank you,
enjoy the
everyone.
film.